Hey everyone. Hey Amy.
Hey,
How are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm wearing my jeans, trying to keep control of the COVID-19 that I'm gaining.
Yeah, I'm not wearing jeans because I'm scared to. So scared to.
Same.
Um, how's everybody in the chat doing? We're going to give it just a couple minutes. Wait for some people to join. I have to send Amy a text message really quick and see who's all here. Hey, Joe.
Joe, darling,
Ah,
Diane. Alrighty, Rebecca.
hi, Dee. Hey, Amanda. Hi, my kids are brats. I want to make sure I say this right. The Chookstead, is that right?
That's right. I asked that the other night.
Awesome. Hi, thank you for being here. Hi, Audra and Nana Michelle and Raquel is here. My kids are brats is here. And just for the record, I'll say it again. My kids are brats too. Darwin is here. Tracy L is here. It's great to see so many faces. Familiar names. Hey, Rebecca. Car.
Lufa. Am I behind? I'm behind. But that's okay. I
Are
wanted to say hi to
you? Hey,
Lufa.
Lufa. Hey, Lufa. All right. So, if anybody's not familiar with our channel, we kind of chit chat in the beginning. That's how we do it here. We like to greet
This is
everybody
how
in
we
the
do it.
chat. Yeah, sometimes we just chat. We kind of do our own thing here. And if you watch the replay, you're welcome to fast forward through that. You don't have to listen to it. I got a couple comments today about our chatter and our laughter, and that's just what we do. That's us. So if some people don't like that, which is completely okay, when you watch the replay you have the option to fast forward. In the meantime, we're going to chit chat for a minute and see who's all here. Oh, Rebecca, you went fishing, you've washed your hands twice, and your hands still smell like fish.
Use
That's funny.
pennies.
Is that how you get rid of it? Hey, Groovy
Yeah.
Granny. Hi, Murderino Mom. Hey, Amanda, Texas girl is here. I don't know if I said hi to you already. I may have.
I see D. I'm late. Nana Michelle or Nana Michelle.
I don't know,
And
Rebecca.
E.
You're right, Peggy K. They do have other options. I just wanted to make it known that there's always the option to fast forward when you watch the replay. You don't have to listen to our chit chat. You don't have to listen to us giggle, and we do giggle here because we're real people. We're not here to pretend to be something we're not. We're not Fox News. We're not CNN. We're not we're not Nancy Grace. We're just two girls on YouTube, two women
That's
on
right.
YouTube.
Yep. Some of us are wearing pants.
Some of us aren't. I'm wearing pants, just yoga
I just,
pants.
I'm
Just
just. Well, yoga pants keep it real. Come on.
I mean, I have a camo hat on with my hair pulled back with a big poofy curly ponytail because I have naturally curly hair. Um, I'll keep it real. I'm a bum most of the day, most of the time on most days these days. Oh, hey, Firefly, where are you at? You're still awake. You must not be local to the US, maybe, or maybe you go to bed early. That's okay too. So, I guess we can go ahead and get started.
Sure. I'm ready. You ready?
I am.
All
I
right.
am.
Hey, Danielle.
Yeah.
You're the bomb.
Aw, thank you. You're the bomb,
Uh-huh.
Amy. You're the bomb.
Yeah.
You glowing Ember. you, Cherie. Is it Cherie or Sherry? You're in PJs. You're happy to finally take your bra off. I hear that, sister. I'm glad you enjoy the chat, Susie Boone. Oh, you're not old, Firefly. You're not old. Not at all. Some people go to bed early. I hear that's more productive, actually. I need to probably take a lesson in that, but
I do too.
yeah, yeah.
Not go to bed early. Here it's more productive.
You keep getting gnat balls in the back of your head from sleeping so much. So I had it right the first time, Cherie. Okay. I like to make sure I know how to say your guys' names. Hi, Rosalind. Who else is up there? I saw a couple other people join. Hey, Jenny Anderson. Oh, hey, Messiah. Aw, thank you, Joni. Hey, Kelly girl. Okay, so let's get started. Let me pull up my handy dandy document here. And we will get started if my computer will cooperate. So Amy so graciously typed this up before we started. I'm just going to read it and then we'll get down to the nitty gritty because we have a lot to discuss tonight. We had some new information come into us and here we go. We have always prided ourselves on bringing you fact-based information and then engaging in thoughtful discussion. That will never change. In the past, we have received information in the form of video, phone recordings, photographs, and other correspondence in regards to Gannon's case, as well as other cases. Sometimes that information is shared with you, and other times it is not. That decision is always a matter of discretion. In February, specifically February 18th, we received a recording of a phone call between Leticia Stout and an anonymous second party. Because there had not yet been an arrest in the case at that junction, it was considered by this channel to be inappropriate to release on a public platform. That person who sent this audio also requested that I send it to Landon personally and explained to me that they were in touch with the detective with a Gmail address. Detectives do not use Gmail addresses, and I did not send the information to Landon. That call was immediately turned over to the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, along with all of the messages. It was never released by Wicked Truths and F-Bombs. It was, however, leaked on another YouTube channel at a later date. I will remind you at this time that we do not mention other creators' names on this live stream. Please refrain from doing so in the chat and in the comments down below. Your comments will be deleted if you do mention other creators or YouTube channels. This channel receives a large volume of tips and information. Sometimes the information can be verified, sometimes it cannot. Sometimes the source would like to remain anonymous, and that you guys know.
Anonymity.
Thank you.
Anonymity.
Yes, stumbled for a second. Is respected. So sometimes we receive information and it is requested that we not share it with anyone else. It is always a difficult choice for us to make. We are not here to be the first with information. We are here to actively discuss cases. Earlier today, we received a message from a party that will remain anonymous. We had previously received the exact same information and were asked by that source not to discuss it publicly. Because this information has now been sent to us multiple times, and because Leticia Stout has been arrested, we are choosing to share it with you tonight. Please know that any discussion based on this information will be considered speculation and not fact. The only things that we can accept as factual would be derived from legal documents. We will say that what we are about to release to you closely resembles information provided in Leticia Stout's arrest affidavit. This factor was a major consideration into whether or not to release this information this evening. Please be respectful in the comments as what you are about to see is sensitive material. So let me pull it up. I'll show you guys. Give me just a moment.
Monica, we just started. We're about to share some information with you that has not been shared previously.
Yes, it has not been shared previously.
Hi, Dodie. Welcome. Thank you
And
for being a new sub.
I will warn you guys that it is hard to look at. I know it was hard for Amy and I to look at when we got it in the messenger this morning. So with that said, here you go. All right, so I'm sure you guys can all see it now. What you are looking at is a photo presumed. What, did something happen, Amy?
No.
Okay.
I'm good. It's showing on one of my screens and not showing on the other, but that's okay. It's good.
Okay. What you are looking at is a photo presumed to be taken by Leticia Stout on the morning of 1/27/2020. That is the same morning that Gannon disappeared, the same day that Gannon disappeared, however you want to word it. There are a few things that you will notice about this photo. One, this photo is very similar to the photo included in the arrest affidavit. Two, this photo is alleged to be taken by Leticia Stout on the morning of 1/27/2020. Three, we do not know why this photo was taken. Four, the bed is away from the wall. You can also compare that to photos within the affidavit that contain blood evidence in the corner of the bedroom where Gannon's bed was placed. 5, the bedding. The end of the bed. Oh, my document messed up. The end of the bed and the two pillows propping up his head. 6, there appears to be something underneath the bedding near Gannon's feet. 7, there does not appear to be a Nintendo Switch in this photo. 8, this photo only shows one side of Gannon's face. I'm going to zoom in on it for you guys so you can see everything that we've seen. And we can discuss it. You can discuss it in the chat. And we will go from there and we'll get down to the nitty-gritty of the rest of the stuff. So this is an interesting photo, don't you think, Amy?
Very, because what we saw in the affidavit, although the photos were not redacted, they were obviously photocopied and then scanned. And so they were very low quality. They were also in black and white. And so now we have a full color photo. We can see the light shining in through the window. We can see that he is like mentioned before, he's on two pillows, the position he's in, the fact that his feet look like they're elevated, that the bed is already pulled away from the wall, which is something that Al noticed right off the bat as being a change in the way that his room was usually situated.
Right.
And when you zoom in, I believe there are other things that you can see, including the outlet mentioned in the affidavit. I don't know if we can.
You want me to zoom in some more? We can show you the outlet. The outlet is down here, actually. You can see the outlet right here. Do you see right? It's right there. We're going to go back up here, though. I mean, you can see how there's a gap right here between his bed and the wall that was discussed in the affidavit. Somebody just said in the comments, I can't see the name because I'm looking at a photo that he looks propped up. That is
a common comment between the two of us and some other people that have had the privilege of seeing this beforehand when we were making the decision.
Yeah, because this came into our WTAF inbox this morning. So, or late afternoon. I don't remember what time. Today is a blur. He looks propped up. There's some other things that we have noticed. I'm not going to, I want to hear what the chat has to say. You have a good night too, Joe. Thank you for being here. Enjoy your time with your kids.
Bye, Joe. It really does hybrid Pisces. That's one thing that I forgot that we had talked about this, but I think the first time I saw this, I thought it really did humanize him. You see his little, what looks like to be a play table with his, with his toys on it next to his bed. Yeah.
Gina said, well, he can't have already passed away because there's no blood. I would have to respectfully disagree with you. That doesn't, I mean, you can't really make that assumption because you don't know what happened before this photo was taken, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying that he's deceased in this photo. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
Okay.
that that's a that's just an assumption. Right?
Amanda
Oh, go ahead.
Amanda Sue is saying, "Oh my God, is that his hand?" Yes,
Yes, that is his hand.
that is his hand, and yes, Amanda, his cheek does look bruised or concave. Yes.
I don't know if I can zoom in more. Um, Sapphire Life, I didn't take the picture. You said you hope he is alive in this picture, or you have just posted a picture of a dead child. I don't. I was sent the picture. We were sent the picture this morning. Leticia took this picture. So if anybody is culpable for this picture, that would be Leticia.
Right. Darwin says, "Look at the way his arms are positioned. Weird." Yes, I thought so too.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of his hand is not in a natural position. I agree.
There's some other things. There's some other things that you can notice. Just some things that I'm going to zoom back out. So, some other things that I am picking up here. Okay. I have kids. My kids don't sleep with their blinds open or their curtains open and light shining on their face. There's clearly something propped up at the end of the bed under his feet. We don't know what that is.
It looks like some sort of bolster or a wedge or something. But
Mm-hmm.
it almost has, if you guys really look, it almost has on the left hand side going up towards the right hand side a like 90-degree angles.
Like a suitcase.
Or a box.
Let's zoom back out.
So some of you are saying his hand looks swollen.
We don't see the switch in this picture.
It could be in there. We just don't see it.
That's a good question. Anyone live in Colorado? What time would the sun have rose on January 27th?
Okay, Sapphire, that's a fair comment. You're right. It might be. It's a photo we received. She's in custody. It closely resembles the one that's in the affidavit. The difference is that it's in color. And that photo was not redacted. That photo was made public. It was scanned, and the photos are poor quality, to be honest.
Right.
So, Mommy for the Win, there was some talk about there was supposed to be a switch in the photo, but this one clearly you can't see one. Thank you, Sapphire. That means a lot.
I'm not give I know what my thoughts are on this. I know what my thoughts are. I know what Amy's thoughts are. I'm not giving my thoughts. I'm very, very curious to what the chat thinks of this though.
He did have a shark bedding set, and if you'll notice the fitted sheet, or that could be a flat sheet tucked in like a fitted sheet, but the sheet that's actually on the mattress has the shark print. You will notice that the rest of the bedding doesn't seem to match.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not making any comments about that at all. I'm just stating the obvious.
Mommy for the win. We know that this picture was taken that morning, January 27th. This is one of the photos that she took of Gannon in bed on January 27th. Before whatever happened, or possibly after what happened. Rachel
That's right.
Cantrell, I think I agree with your comment. I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christy B, my stepson has the same sheets. I don't know. I heard that there was I've seen other people comment about this. I know that his came from Target. I'm trying to think of the line, but anyway, there's a Target line that's just for kids, and that's what we have on the bunk beds. So, and that's not the comforter, and that is not the pillows that go with it. Now there
Um,
might be other shark sheets, but
Kristen Cure, no, both of his arms are not exposed. It looks like one of his arms is under the blankets. Um, I'm just watching comments. I want to see what people have to say.
they're saying he's not in a natural sleeping position. His hand looks very oddly positioned. Um, Amanda Stu says, "Hey, if you're watching this on your phone, turn your phone sideways and you can see the picture better."
Yeah. Gray Wolf, staged pick for sure. Gina Schaefer, how could this be taken before he walked out and he isn't alive? Just asking, not being critical. We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Somebody else made a comment up there that if Gannon was dead, I just shared a picture of a dead child in a bed. Well, I don't know that he's dead in that bed. I think everybody has their own assumptions and their own thoughts. I think we are all pretty smart people. Everybody in the chat, we all have common sense. A lot of us have a lot of knowledge in different situations like this, like just from following true crime or being in, say, example, the medical field. The bottom line is, like Ann Mata just said it, he looks gravely ill. This photo is not a photo portraying a child who was in what I would consider good health at the time it was taken. That's my speculation. That is not a fact.
Here, this is a random comment, but here's my thing. If I'm taking a photo of my child in bed, or my stepchild in bed, and I don't know exactly how his room is situated, but I might move a little bit where I got his little face or the sun shining on his face or something. I'm not really sure what this picture is supposed to be showing us. And if there is there a reason it's taken from this angle? Does
Sure.
anybody else notice? I know Amanda said there was something, or Amanda said there was something about either a shadow on his cheek or they looked concave. When you look at the rest of his face, do you see anything? And do you notice that there's only one side of his? I mean, obviously he's laying on his side, but those pillows almost look like they're propped up against the wall.
They do. He's propped up. He's definitely propped up in the photo. There's no doubt about that. You can see that there is at least two pillows behind him. And it almost looks like there's a white pillow. Let me get in the
Like
photo.
a bolster.
It
Like
looks
those
like there's a white pillow
lounge.
here.
Yep.
Right. It's like there's a white pillow here, and then there's
Mm-hmm.
something back here behind his head that is propping that pillow up at a 45-degree angle.
Right. Amanda Sue, what is under the blanket by his feet? Because there's something. Maui girl, this photo is not from the arrest affidavit. It is very close to it. It was sent to us. It was sent to us a couple times. It was asked not to be shared by the first person when we got it. You know, the second and the third time. The person, it was a different person. They wanted to be anonymous, but at that point, we felt like perhaps it was worth sharing. When you go back to the beginning of the video, we tell you that this channel receives a lot of information. Sometimes it's passed on to the authorities and never released by us. Sometimes it's released by other YouTube creators whose names we won't mention. And tonight, because this was so close to what was in the arrest affidavit, and because Leticia's in custody, the decision was made to share it with you.
You also have to keep in mind Gannon had a basement bedroom. His bedroom was in the basement. So that light you're seeing come in, which is interesting, is coming in through a basement window. So
it almost looks like there might be
that makes
shears on the window, but definitely not.
I don't think there's shears on the window. I think that's
Is that
glares, but you could be right. Just because you don't see any shears in front of anything that's sitting on the windowsill.
Right. But they could be
And
pushed back. Do you know what I mean? Like kids do that.
right.
Kids
Right.
do that.
Hey, Rebecca Carr. Good to see you're back. Little Texas tornado. I don't see a headboard either, just a wall. What direction does the window face? That is a great question.
This kind of happened.
Katarina.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Katarina, that's a
I have
great
to.
comment.
I'm gonna address this person who's commenting from YouTube. Alicia Brooke on Facebook said, no, the affidavit states in the afternoon, doesn't it? Isn't it this photo? T took this about 8 a.m. You had previously commented, Alicia, that you don't see any blood on the walls or blood on the bedding. I just want to address this. No criminal, nobody who murders a child is going to take a photo with blood in it, okay? We don't know what happened on Sunday night. If you've listened to the video of Gannon crying, you can hear the pain in his voice. You don't know what happened to him Sunday night. You don't know. You don't know when she washed blood off the walls. Nobody knows that. It's assumed that she did some carpet cleaning on the afternoon of January 27th. But I don't think there's any mention of when they said she wiped the walls down. Is there, Amy?
No.
There's not. There's not. So I just want to be clear about that. You guys, you have to, just because an arrest affidavit says, that Leticia wiped the walls down, which it does say that, it does not tell you when she wiped the walls down. Could she have wiped the walls down on Sunday night? Absolutely, she could have. Do we know if she did? We don't. Do we know if she wiped them down Monday? We don't. We know that she wiped them down at some point.
I'll just say this. If he was already injured by Monday morning, like if he was injured on Sunday night or sometime during the night or what have you.
I'm back. Sorry.
That's okay. In the video that we see that's supposedly on Monday morning taken by Roderick Drayton, Gannon has his head covered.
Mm-hmm.
It's also very difficult, even stated by the police and the detectives, it's very difficult to identify both people in that video.
Right.
But it is possible that he had a head injury on Monday when they were leaving the house, and it is concealed by that hoodie. And that
Mm-hmm.
some of that had already been cleaned up prior to them leaving the house.
I think that is a very wise, um, I don't want to say assumption because you're not assuming. It's a very wise,
I am assuming. I am
yeah,
speculating.
very wise speculation. I prefer the word speculation over assumption.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I
I
do
do
too.
too.
Rachel Cantrell said, could this have been taken the afternoon when they got back from the trip? That's possible. Hey, Doodlebug or Doodleboo, you changed your name.
Doodle boo. You know, the other thing is Danielle did say no person would take a photo with, forensic evidence such as blood on the walls. The only person that I know recently who did it by mistake, and that was Jodi
Mhm.
Arias. And she threw that camera in the washing machine, hoping that it would destroy it, and didn't take it with her, and that sealed her fate big time.
Christina has a good point. She said it's highly possible she cleaned and changed the bedding for the photo.
Right.
Because
Because
who would send their spouse a photo with blood spatter of their child? That is a good point.
it is a weird angle, mommy, for the win. Yes. And somebody mentioned before when we were saying, why was this photo taken? Maybe it was because Al hadn't been able to speak to his son, and this is where some of his concern was derived from. Perhaps he was asking to talk to Gannon several times, and there was a multitude of excuses, so she provided photos. He's sleeping. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Amanda
Um,
Sue, I don't know if he had big hands or long fingers, but to me, when I first saw that, that looked like an adult hand. And I'm not saying it is at all, because I don't believe that. I think it might be the angle of the photo, but it is weird. And
I
yes,
can zoom
Maui
in on his
girl.
hand.
Yeah. Maui girl, that's one of the things. So I'll go back over real quick for you. Um, when you're looking at, this is what we had said earlier. When you're looking at this photo, Maui girl, you'll notice that it's very similar to the photo included in the arrest affidavit. This photo is alleged to be taken by Leticia Stout on the morning of 1/27/2020. That's what we were told, okay? We do not know why this photo was taken. The bed is away from the wall. Compare that to photos of blood evidence in the corner of the bedroom. The fact that the bed is away from the wall, that's one of the first things when Al Stout viewed his son's room that he noticed immediately, that the bed was out of position. The bedding at the end of the bed and two pillows propping up his head. There appears to be something underneath the bedding near Gannon's feet. There does not appear to be a Nintendo Switch in this photo. This photo only shows one side of Gannon's face.
Hold on, what's this comment? If we blow it up, does he look blue? Um, so I haven't uploaded any of the work that we've done on this photo. I'm sure we could. But Amy and I, this is the original photo.
We made a we I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we made a decision together. We even hesitated on the watermark. We did not want to
Mm-hmm.
alter this photo in any way. This is exactly the way it was received. It has not been enlarged. The lighting has not been enhanced. It has not been put through photo raw or camera raw. It has not been put in Photoshop. There has been nothing done to this photo.
Right. Yeah, there's been nothing done in this photo. It's just the only thing done was a watermark added up here and a watermark added at the bottom. But and they were added in those two places because I did not want to add a watermark that we would be missing anything. I didn't want to add a watermark over here or here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think most of you have probably seen our watermark. Usually it covers a whole photo or document. I didn't do that. I literally added a watermark in two spots just for certain purposes, but
Right. Firefly says it's interesting. She claimed they took a selfie in the truck. I'd be very interested in why she said that. Maybe Al asked for a picture and she sent him this one, like in the Watts case. She might have, and to my knowledge, I haven't heard of anybody that has seen the selfie from the truck. That doesn't mean that when the discovery comes out that we won't see it. But to date, I'm not aware that the picture exists except for Anticia's statements.
mhm. Karen B, no, the police did not find any blood in the truck to our knowledge. However, at the time of the arrest affidavit, there was still a lot of evidence that was out to the crime labs being processed.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that they did the Blue Star agent on the truck and didn't find any blood. So we don't know if they took any swabs inside the truck. They could have. I don't know. I don't know. I have my own theories and speculations, and I think Amy does too, and I think most of our WTAF team does. Um,
Well,
I'm
Christina, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, Christina just mentioned that his lips look very swollen. I agree. They look like they're pushed out, almost like if you were to put like two Pringles in your mouth, or like duck lips, and it made me wonder if there isn't something wrong with the other side of his face.
Yeah. I can, if you guys give me a minute, I can crop the original and maybe do a better zoom in. I know this is difficult for any family or friends that are watching, and I do apologize. This is what we do. So we're here for answers, we're here for truth, and yeah.
Yeah, Karen B, you would, but like Danielle said, it's stated in the affidavit that there were still things being processed at the time of her arrest, and they were still waiting for results. And so, there's different things that could hold up results. It could be the volume of evidence that they submitted. It could have been that they had things submitted for further testing. We just don't know.
Right. So you guys keep chatting for a minute. I'm going to crop this photo and add it, and we can, because people are asking if we can zoom in on his face, and we can. But I have to crop it and to be able to zoom in. So
okay. All right, so she's going to go ahead and do that. Tracy L's on the patio with me tonight. Welcome. You're live on WTAF. Oh my goodness.
Suzanne Murray, that is a good question. Are Harley and Gannon similar heights? That is a good question.
I don't know Harley's height. Wouldn't it be the other side of his face, the part concealed here that we saw in the video of them leaving that day? Most likely, yes. But yeah. But he did have that hoodie on. So it looks like something squarish is at the foot of the bed under the covers. Yes, it does. And you can almost see where it loops around. It's like a 90-degree angle, like very, very structured angles. And yes, Tracy L says she thinks that Harley's a bit taller. Yes, at this point, Allison, there is no blood found in the truck there, but there I'm not saying there is blood in the truck, but at the time of the affidavit, there wasn't. They did specifically say there were still pieces of evidence being processed at that time. They didn't have the results on them yet. So,
I think one of my questions would be, did anybody notice on the footage of what is assumed Gannon getting in the truck that the child that was getting in the truck kind of looked like they were hunched over a little bit, or was it only me who saw that?
yes. No, I saw that too. And I, at first, attributed that to, I was influenced by Roderick Drayton's statement that he was stumbling, he was walking the right way. And then she had said he had stomach issues. So I said, well, sometimes when you have stomach issues, you kind of hunch over and hold your tummy.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm wondering if that wasn't, if it possibly wasn't him getting into the truck that day.
Right.
The police, the affidavit says they cannot positively identify either person in that video, Leticia or Gannon.
Right. It's a lot. It's a lot to try to decipher. But on the other hand, in the affidavit, they state that law enforcement verified that Harley was at work. Did Harley get a lunch break?
Yes. And Mata, maybe. And Mata, yes, and he didn't pick up whatever he dropped. You're right. He didn't pick up whatever he dropped. She picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
And she made it a point to say, she picked it up. She says that in the Crime Online interview.
Yep. So Gina saying that was Gannon getting in the truck. Okay. Hey, Tracy Walker. Hey, JA. Didn't see when you showed up here.
Bernadette, possibly. We're saying that's a possibility. Again, I'm going to say tonight, the goal of this channel is to give you all facts and to have open discussions. Tonight, we are clearly speculating.
Yes. Yeah, this is speculation. Rebecca Carr, you had a good point. You said that, I believe you said that Landon said that was Gannon getting into the truck. And you know that Landon has seen a clear view of the video with the audio and says that it is 100% Gannon. So, it's possible that I don't know.
Christina, I don't disagree with you. She says T is conniving enough to have had someone else be Gannon in the video footage. I don't disagree with you. I think that's a possibility. I get that. I'm going to say something very controversial right now. I believe that Landon is 100% convinced that's Gannon getting in the truck. I absolutely 100% believe that she is convinced that that's him. I also think there's a possibility that she wants it to be him. And that's just me. And I'll own that. Danette, you felt like the switch was in that picture because we have heard that the switch was in the picture. Gina Schaefer, if it wasn't him, why would she make a person look sick or injured? I really don't know. I don't have answers to that. I will say this looks really weird how the comforter is situated, tucked in at the rear, etc. I think it's like Little Texas Tornado. I agree with you. That was one of the first things I noticed. And how rigid and structured the end of the bed is, the bedding. Yeah, Mandy Strunk when T back when Leticia backed up over the driveway pad and pulled up or pulled back out. I wonder what that was flopping around in the back, possibly a suitcase. Yeah, we've talked about that before too. Christina, you agree 100% with me? Who would want to see their child's last live moments? Yeah. Raquel says, I think it was him and that he was severely hurt Sunday and the worst was done Monday. I tend to agree with that too. Like, just because I say one thing doesn't mean that I don't believe that there's multiple possibilities. I'm just trying to make sense of it all. Maui girl, wonder if that thing under the blanket is new bedding or the suitcase. A couple of people have said that too. Yes, she is like a true like Kathy Bates. She is Kimberly M. Amanda Wallace, the camera would have seen if the daughter came back home. Yes, we would. Yeah, we would hope so. I, Allison Faye, I don't know the answers to that question. Okay, so Tracy L said something. Aren't Nintendo Switches red? And doesn't he have red on his comforters? So I don't know a lot about this stuff. My kids have Nintendo Switches, and theirs are red. I don't know if they come in other colors, if they get like skins put on them. I don't know. But yes, there is something at the end of his feet. Very much so. JA, I swear the person walking to get in the truck to back it up doesn't look like a woman. Well, I will say Leticia's the way she the way she stands and holds her body, like her posture. When I saw her in the video with her back to the camera, she's very athletic, kind of the way she stands. Some people have said very masculine, and I hesitate to use that. It's more like an athletic stance. I don't know how to describe it. Audra O, his lower half legs look like they're wrapped. Turquoise, I thought that too. I thought his blanket looked like it was just opened up to use it, not unfolded the whole way. I did too, especially that part that's closest to the wall.
All right, I'm here. I'm trying to get this other photo uploaded,
No
but
problem.
so I have a theory and it's just speculation. Just speculation. So don't anybody lynch me for saying it, please. I had wondered if his feet were propped up for blood flow for the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's like a morbid way to think, but that's all I could think is maybe I don't know how smart she is. I don't know.
Hi, Mignon. I
Hey,
think she's
Mignon.
I think she's very smart, and I think that if these pillows and whatever's under his feet weren't there, they weren't put there by Gannon. They were put there for a reason.
Okay, so I have to leave the stream for just 1 minute so I can get this other picture. I'll be right back in like 3 minutes, guys.
Right. Okay, Amanda Texas Scout. Thank you for that. It does say the video camera is several homes away and does not provide images clear enough to make a positive identifications of those captured in the recording. It does, and we read through that a couple times the other night just so everybody understands. Law enforcement is not positively ID'd either one of them in that video. Gina, she's not that smart. I beg to differ with you. I really I think Leticia's a lot smarter than the little Texas tornado just said it for me, than we give her credit for. So I will say she's smart in some ways and dumb in others. You know what gets her in trouble is that she fancies herself to be intellectually superior to others. And so she doesn't account for the intellectual capacity of others around her, the people that she's lying to. And perhaps her audience in the past was of lower intellect. Too bad she didn't have a Google search about it. Yep. Matt, welcome. I'm glad you caught alive. Welcome. Could the person that backed the vehicle up be Harley's boyfriend? I don't know because I don't know who he is. And yeah, so. Oh, Bernadette. She might have thought that he was already passed and brought that suitcase in there. So Matt says he doesn't think she's smart. He thinks, in his opinion, she's devious. Okay. So Danielle is back and she's got the cropped photo up on the screen for you all to look at. Yes, that is a quality.
Yes,
Peggy.
I am back, and
Hi, Donnie Color. We don't know if his body was wrapped, Kimberly. Somebody's talking about El Gordo.
yes, Kelly girl, the last video of his voice, Gannon seems like he is in extreme distress. Now this pit possibly his poor parents. Yes.
Oh,
I agree.
Cherie says, this is good. She's criminally minded. It took almost 100 FBI agents and she still managed to get to Florida without anyone knowing. Yes.
And it took over 175 combined FBI agents and law enforcement agents over 10 states to catch her. So that is a very, very.
And let's talk about all the search warrants too.
Right. They were at 107 on March 2nd when she was arrested.
Right.
Yeah, Rebecca Carr, his lips are swollen and you think he looks jaundiced. I think his hand looks very, very discolored.
It's not in a normal position. I mean, what I would consider normal, I don't know. Everybody sleeps differently, but
his fingers are red. Yeah.
Riley Day, I agree with you. I think that there is a possibility that Al was asking to speak to his son. He was only texting, and there was always excuses, and that's what kind of started it. That's why perhaps on Monday night her timeline ended because he just wanted to talk to his son and he wasn't hearing anything, and the pressure was on and she reported him missing.
Right.
Because she might have thought she had more time.
Yeah, she could have thought that. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know. I know I'm kind of quiet. It's a lot for me to take in.
Sure. Tracy Walker, defensive wounds. What are you? I'm interested. Expand, extrapolate, share.
I do want to say that there's another part of this live that we are going to do that pertains to what Tisha said versus her lies. We will get there. This was something that was sprung on us this afternoon, and we kind of had to switch things up a little bit. So I don't want anybody to think that the title was misleading or anything, because we'll get there.
No, I have it sitting right in front of me. Yep. Hi, Sulfur Music. Oh, every day is Sunday. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so
Kristen thinks maybe this was in the afternoon. Doodle, you think his middle finger looks broken? His hand being so red. Okay, Tracy, that's what you were saying. His hand was so red. Yes, and Mata, I do think that There is so much information in this case and so much stuff we don't know. It will be like a novel when we're done. If you know, I don't know. So Hybrid says the fact that Al was so insistent to speak to Gannon is interesting to me. It leads me to believe that Al didn't trust her and knew there was strife at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nadine just put one word, lividity.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
agree with that. Hold on one second. I'm trying to slow the chat. Sorry for the kids in the background that are probably arguing back there over something because I hear them.
I didn't hear it. I think I heard your washing machine though.
Mhm. You may have.
Sounded like mine.
There's
I
always
was like,
something
wait, I'm
going
not
here,
lying.
guys. Yeah, there's always something going here. The washing machine, the dishwasher, the kids' mouths. Like there's always something running.
Oh,
But
wait.
right now a
Tracy L
hoverboard.
says everybody. No. She said they are. Everybody's talking about that middle finger looking broken because it's like extended, and then the finger next to it's kind of bent up. But Tracy L said, and they're also saying it's red. That maybe that was a burn from the candle. It's possible. There's a reason
That's
why she
possible.
mentioned a candle. There is a reason. I mean, that didn't come out of. Was the reason because there was carpet replaced? Maybe. Is the reason because he actually did burn himself on a candle at some point? Maybe. I. Who knows? But there's a reason why she mentioned it. That was the original. Like Danielle just said. WTAF did Leticia say that was the working theme of this video prior to receiving this. Okay, you did it. Yay. And Peggy K, yeah, it could be lighting as well. And Little Texas Tornado and why she mentioned the sofa. Yep. And remember, there was a sofa pillow that had a stain on it. It's in the affidavit.
Mm. Yeah, it's a lot to look at.
It is. What strikes me about the hand is it looks like, to me, that two of his fingers are flat and the other two are kind of curled up.
Mm-hmm.
Like the two on the end are kind of curled up. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just doing that with my hand right now. And that's a weird position. And it doesn't,
Um,
it doesn't even look like he's gathering blankets with his hand either. I mean, I could see that, but I just really don't see that in the picture. I see a fold of a blanket underneath. But
Rebecca Carr said his index finger is extremely swollen. It is. It looks huge. His first. Oh, I gotta do it this way. This finger right here. It looks huge. And then this finger is very stiff. And then these fingers are bent. And the coloring is different in these fingers than in these two fingers. Then if you look at his lips, that's not normal to me at all.
So Ann Mata just asked if, other than Lee Egan, did she talk to any other reporters? Well, she did the first interview on the side of the road, right, with her back turned to the camera. And
Mm-hmm.
then she did release a statement. It's not necessarily speaking, but she did exclusively release a statement to KDVR. That was her written statement that started out with the first and foremost, I would like to thank all agencies. Remember that written statement?
Mm-hmm.
So 3 altogether.
I'm sorry, Sir Henry, that the photo is upsetting to you. I mean, you're welcome to put whatever device you're watching on down and just listen for the moment. I'm not pulling the photo down at the moment. A lot of the people in chat wanted to see this, and that's what we're doing. So, and if you don't agree, as well, Matt Block, you are welcome to put your phone down and just listen as well. The photo will come down shortly, but right now we're discussing it.
Pronvera, I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly, I hope, or Pronvera, but we don't presume anything about this photo. This photo was supplied to us anonymously. Um, uh, well, it was submitted to us by multiple sources, but nobody wants to be mentioned. So we don't, we have no presumptions about this. Only what, only what we were told when we received it. And I can repeat that really quick. Um, the photo is alleged to be taken by Leticia Stalk on the morning of 1/27/2020. That's all. That's all the information that we have on this photo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Raquel, no problem. No problem. And thank you, Gina. This information will be out at some point, anyways. Um, we know it's heartbreaking. We know.
Everything about this case is heartbreaking.
Yes, yes. We started following this case prior to others who started following this case. Um, so we followed this from the moment it broke in the news. So we've been through the ups and the downs of this case, and we were all hopeful, even though we knew what the outcome was most likely going to be. We were hopeful. We had hope. We were all heartbroken when when they did the press conference on March 2nd and stated that they believed that Gannon was deceased and that Leticia had killed him. We were all, I mean, I came on here, you guys heard it. I don't care who says it was fake tears. I've seen those comments. That's cool. You can have your
No,
opinion.
no,
You
I
can
will tell you, Danielle didn't even want to go live that night.
I didn't.
She
And
didn't.
yeah, I'm just saying I've seen the comments and that's fine. Whatever. You guys others can think what they want. That's great. But my tears and the heartache was real and it is genuine and our hearts are invested in this case. So looking at this picture is very hard for us as well. The whole case has been hard. It's been a difficult case, and most of you in the chat have walked through this case with us. It has broken all of our hearts. We know that. So yeah, Raquel, he does have my heart. He's a little boy I never met, and to hear my 11-year-old little boy say prayers for Gannon, yeah,
Right.
that runs deep. I still have my blue lights up at my house. They'll probably never come down. So
Wendy said, this photo, or Wendy Johnson said this photo could have been taken in the afternoon. We don't know. We only know what we're told.
right.
This photo could have been taken at any time during the day.
It
Yes.
could have. That is interesting too, because of the amount of light coming in that window. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I don't know that light would come in that window that bright,
Mm-hmm.
considering it's a basement bedroom, even though they have the windows that are the new um, code regulations. What are they, like the walkout
Right.
windows or whatever they
Yeah,
are?
the
I,
escape,
I,
the
s-
fire safe. Yeah.
yeah, I still don't know that amount of light would come in a basement window at that early time in the morning.
Right. Kristen wants to know if he's sleeping on pillow shams. It looks like if you're talking about the dark blue one on top, yeah, it does. But I will tell you this, with kids, as much as you try to get them not to sleep on those, good luck. So, I can't, that can't be something definitive, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
T. Ferrero, is he sleeping with a light on his face? Seems like a table side lamp. I don't think so. I think that is the light from the window that is coming in because there's a window. I can pull this picture back up. You can see that there's no table lamp there, to my knowledge. right? That's just light from the window shining on his face.
Leave it to True Helper. He says they're low E, argon filled, tempered, double hung vinyl windows. Good, good
True helper, you
grief.
always have all the stats. I appreciate that.
Okay, so
Well, I mean, we could look. I can look through the house tour again. Rebecca Carr, you believe his window faces north just from looking at the way the house faces and where his room is in the house. Okay. So the sun rises in the east,
mhm.
right?
I'm going to leave this to you because I admittedly directionally challenge. So,
Sun rises in the east and it sets in the west.
right.
And if Gannon's room, his window faces the north. All right, true helper, I might need your help here. What time do you think this photo was taken based off the light coming in the window?
Yeah, Danette, you get very distracted by his legs being propped up, don't you?
Yeah,
And yeah.
it's not natural. That's not normal.
Mhm. Mm-mm.
Advocate for big little voices. You're saying that's morning light? Okay. Um
Tracy. All right, True Helper, we're waiting on you. Which direction was the house facing? That Danielle, you just said that
not
window.
not which direction was the house facing. Gannon's room would have been facing the backyard, like Rebecca said. His room faced let me go back up here, find it. So his window faced north into the backyard. The sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. Based on the sunlight coming in that window, would this be a morning picture? You're a photographer. Okay. That's helpful, advocate. Thank you. That is a good point, April Dawn. If his legs are propped up, wouldn't they have to be really long legs? That is a good point. So, what is under that blanket? Turquoise says it looks like afternoon. You guys all have such interesting input and
We
thoughts.
do. This is why we did this.
Yes, glowing ember. The windows are surrounded by like metal in the ground outside. There's like they're walkout windows, I believe. Katerina said her bedroom faces the north. It's super bright in the morning. After 12 p.m., it steadily gets darker. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to believe that his legs are that long, too.
Okay. So True Helper says he would guess between 6 and 8 a.m. based on shadows and the lighting. All right. Jason, you think it looks like a suitcase? I don't know what it is. It's very weird to me. Could it be? Okay. So let's say the suitcase would be facing the area of the room. The zipper part of the suitcase would be facing the area of the room that we can't see. Let me try to demonstrate. Like this would be the zipper area, and the suitcase is opened a little bit because you know how when you open a suitcase, the lid, depending on if it's a hard shell suitcase or not, it might prop up a little bit. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like this would be
Mm-hmm.
the
I'm just,
front.
yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm just reading. Jody Flo said the whole image is odd. Where's his nose? Even if swollen lips, his mouth just looks odd to me. Yeah, it looks odd to me, too. Very.
Yeah, let's see. Read some more comments.
A lot of
The
people
whole
think it looks like a suitcase.
Yeah, I can kind of see the suitcase now. Others don't think it looks like a suitcase. I don't know. It almost looks like his legs are up here. Let me show you. It looks like his legs are like right here. Like here's his waist, there's his legs.
Like they're
Right?
bent at the knee and then back.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. There,
And then
because
there's something down here.
yeah, because I think when a lot of people first look at this, and I don't have a cursor to point out, but just bear with me. If you look at the top right sort of corner of like the box thing at the end of the bed, I think some people take that diagonal line and think that's a knee,
Yeah, that's
and
not a
it
knee.
can't be.
Yeah.
It can't be, even with the angle of the photo being taken mathematically. That this I know because I'm an artist, but this I know that can't be his knee.
Wait, wait a second. Where do you see a right hand at Soul for Music? Because I don't see. Let me zoom in. I don't see his other hand in this picture. I see his upper body and his hand like they're covered. You don't see a hand here. He's covered by a blanket, right? Or am I not
Mhm.
seeing it? I could not be seeing it.
Well, okay, so it can kind of play tricks on you. It kind of looks like, so look at the hand that's exposed, go up,
Mhm.
and that little corner up by his ear kind of looks like a shoulder. Follow it down, and there's like a beigey. It's probably ready. Yeah, right where your cursor
Right,
just was.
right here, but
That
that's part of the blanket.
blanket.
That
Yeah, I know, but
yeah,
it could look like a shorter arm. You know,
yeah. No, his that you can
because
see
I
it.
did that too at first.
Yeah, his other arm and hand is covered by a blanket. There's no his so his right hand is not exposed in this picture. The right side of his body is completely covered by the blanket, and then it goes over his chest and his torso, and his left hand and arm are exposed laying across his chest.
Right. Yeah, you
I'll
guys.
post the picture will be posted in our group, and you guys can zoom in and you'll be able to see that it is not when you zoom in that his right arm and hand is completely covered by a blanket.
Mignon, I said the same thing. That could be like sometimes we call them wedges here. Some people call them like typically like the round cylindrical ones are called bolsters. But sometimes, especially like people that get massages and things like that, there's like posturing wedges, things like that they use. It kind of looks like that because it goes on an incline. But the other way to think about this is if his body weight is on one part of it, it's going to make one part of it look lower because it's accepting the weight, and the other part's going to be higher.
Chris,
So,
Kristen, Cure, we don't mention other creators on this channel, nor do we mention any other YouTube channels or anything like that. Just to let you know, that was at the beginning of the stream.
yeah,
And
and it's
that's just a general rule across our
yeah,
channel.
it's an always rule. It's just out of respect for everybody. Well, Mary, thank you for stating your opinion, but you're more than welcome to not look at it. And quite honestly, it's very close to the one that was in the affidavit, if if not the same one.
Yeah. Hold on, I have to answer a message.
Sure.
Then I have to get in here and delete a comment.
So for music, you don't have to apologize.
Yeah, never apologize. You're good,
Mm-mm.
Soul for Music.
Mm-mm.
You're good. Don't worry about it. The photo is there's some optical illusions in here, and unless you have it in front of you, we're going to post it in the Facebook group. Unless you have it in front of you, and where you can actually zoom in yourself and see it yourself, it's very easy for your eyes to play tricks on you.
Right. So little Texas tornado, you say it looks curved around his backside. I I'm not saying I disagree with you. I just don't understand what you mean. Okay, so Amanda Sue says, I just tried to lay like he's laying. It's very uncomfortable to get my hands like that. Interesting. I've done things like that before too. So yeah, so Gina and um Tracy L and Mignon all now say, yeah, it's possible that's like one of those wedges. Some people put them between their knees or whatever it is, there's something there. And those wedges do have 90-degree angles on them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just 1 second. I want to.
okay. Katerina says his room faces north, sun rises in the east, shadows are to the west of him. If it was any time after 12 p.m. roughly, the sun would start to put shadows on the right side of the room. Okay. That's interesting. Thank you.
Oh, that's why I can't find the comment because I'm behind in the chat on my phone. Sorry, guys. I'm like
I
all over
can't
the
even
place.
tell you how many times I've done that. Especially when you go out to read a message or something and you come back in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get to the next part in just a second. So, any other observations you guys want to talk about or make comments about before we move on? And again, I'm going to go post this in our Facebook group. Our mods, who are amazing, by the way, all of our mods down there
Thank
are
you.
amazing and do so much for our channel. They're sharing links to the Facebook group where this photo will be posted. And you're welcome to join the Facebook group. Please just make sure you answer all the questions. Let us know you came from YouTube and all of the above. So
some people are saying they see something dark sticking out from the pillows. They want to know why the blanket is so close to the desk. It's hard to imagine where that
is interesting. I just noticed that
Yeah.
blanket is very close to the desk.
Now the bed is pulled out from the wall. You know, we have to remember that. But
Yeah, actually this spot right here, let me zoom out and move the picture around. So this spot right here, you can see the floor down here, right there's the line. It's probably hard to see on here, but this is the area within the affidavit. I believe we're sharing links down there. There's an area in the affidavit that has a photo of that area, and it speaks about the bed being pulled away from the wall, and there was blood on the concrete that had soaked through the carpet and the pad and all of that. Yeah, I don't know. Are you guys talking, what dark thing were you talking about? They said there was something dark up here, Amy?
coming out of the pillows. I think it's just shadows, and I think you have to, if you look close enough,
like right here.
There and like up at the top too. But I think really what that is, this is just me. I think he is sleeping on two pillows that are covered in pillow shams, and they are identical in their prints. Both pillow shams are the same, and then I believe there's a white pillow underneath, giving that some extra height.
Right.
Or there's something bunched up underneath. I'm also going to point out to you guys, so in the arrest affidavit on page 7, it's number 55, are the two snapshots taken from Leticia's phone. And I believe that these are, I believe that this is very, very similar, if not the same, as one of these photos. One was taken at 2200 hours, and wait, no, I'm sorry. The one on the left is taken by EPSO. and the one on the right, because they're not marked as exhibits or anything. The one on the right was taken at 8:13, and it reads, another photo was recovered from Leticia's cell phone that shows his bed was not pushed directly against the wall by the head of the bed. This photo articulates the ability for blood to get onto the walls and the floor in the corner of the bedroom. Mr. Stout stated the positioning of the bed is unusual, and the bed is unusually pushed against the wall. So there is more in 54. I'm not going to read it all, but actually, I will tell you that this starts on page 6. So if you're listening back at this, or if you have it in front of you, it starts on page 6 with number 53. It goes on to page 7 through 55. And that's where they stop talking about that photo. Now there is another photo on page 8. It says photo the morning of January 7th, 2020, particular attention to top left of bed. And that is the one that closest, why can't I put this, why can't I articulate this? That one closely resembles, or most closely resembles, the one that is on your screen right now.
I do want to touch on one more subject before we move on to the rest of this. So in the last live we did about Gannon's case, there was information shared with me that I explained was shared with me, etc. You can go back and listen to it. It's been like a hot topic in our group. I don't know why, but it is. And I did actually just have it confirmed to me by a second source this evening, right before I went live, and a couple other things confirmed. And this is a source that I would consider 100% believable, vetted. I've vetted the source. I've spoken with the source many times. So in the last live, I had spoken about how there was alleged abuse. Somebody had shared with me anonymously that there was abuse, that Tisha had tried to suffocate Lena, and Al had to pull her off of Harley when she had attacked Harley with a belt. And again, that was something that somebody shared with me. I did not state it as fact. I shared with you what was shared with me. This has again been brought to me by a second source tonight, who gave me a little bit more detail. And when it came to Tisha beating Harley with the belt, it wasn't actually the belt that she beat her with, it was the buckle. Albert witnessed it and did nothing about it. And when it came to Lena, she pushed Lena's face into the carpet and tried to suffocate her. And another bit of information that was shared with me was that Al and Tisha were swingers. I'm just relaying this information. So please don't come after me for saying it. I'm just relaying. I mean, it's like the second or third time that it's been told to me. It's not a lie. It's not BS. I'm not just saying it to say it. There's a lot that will come out in trial, but I just wanted, because I'm reading these messages while I'm on this live, and it's the same thing that I've heard in the past prior.
Yep. And you got to remember that Al and Leticia met playing softball with Landon. They socialized. Their whole relationship started on, we talked about this earlier, started on, as a lie, and who knows what else that incorporated. And so
Right.
so other people in the chat are saying, yes, I've heard that. They've
Hmm.
heard that too. I'm sorry. I got distracted by my kids and rats comment.
What'd she say?
She said, she just said, I F that B up, but it was the way she wrote it that
Yeah,
made me laugh.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Kelly Wiggins, you guys probably can't see her comment. She is just joining from Facebook. I think you can rewind the live. We are discussing the case of Gannon Stout. Um, so, and a Texas girl,
I
sugar
know.
daddies and swingers. Oh my!
Right.
To
Could
each
it
their
get any
own.
more salacious? And it's, I mean,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And at the bottom of it is a poor child. It's just so horrible.
I
Mhm.
need to mute my mic for a second. Hold on.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to start on what else we want to discuss. We can go ahead and
Sure.
move that way.
Sure. Okay. So originally we had um, planned this live to be WTAF Did Letecia Say? What the actual, you know what? So let me flip my pages here. So basically, this is an analysis of Leticia's statements, the ones that she made to the press. So her back to the camera interview, her three with Crime Online and Lee Egan, and the statement she issued to KDVR, the exclusive written statement. So what we did is we went through and we kind of um, took in her words what she said and why she said it and what it actually means. So um, I will read the first one and I'll let Danielle give the responses to that. But so the first one is, and it comes from February 11th, 2020. Leticia Stout exclusive statement to press, KDVR News. First and foremost, I would like to thank all agencies, volunteers, and community members who are working diligently and praying endlessly to bring Gannon home safe. Thank you to my husband, who has stayed strong through this and protected our family to the best of his ability, and our immediate and extended family members throughout the East Coast. To Gannon, please come home soon because your daddy is waiting to watch the new Sonic movie that comes out. I'm sorry, that comes out this week, and the cool t shirt I got you to wear to the theater is in your closet. And the kind of the translation to that statement, the one your daddy is waiting to watch the new Sonic movie that comes out. T does not include herself in this. Note she uses the word your daddy is waiting. She's not waiting. She does mention the cool shirt I got you to wear to the theater is in your closet. And that is just reinforcing what a good stepmom she is. Um, how she's provided this to him and how thoughtful she is. So her next statement in this article is social media has been devastating from the harsh comments, speculations, threats, cyberbullying, etc. It has been a challenge when people are trying to run you off the road, waiting outside your hotel, threatening to kill you. I encourage the sheriff's office to take down those pages that promote negative behavior and violence. Let's do what Gannon would do. Be kind to one another. So basically, here she's portraying herself to be the victim, like, you know, Gannon's missing, and look, I'm getting run off the road. I have to live in a hotel. People are threatening to kill me. And, the sheriff should really prevent people from saying anything about me on social media. She wants everybody to be nice and do what Gannon would do. So she's trying to put Gannon up on that pedestal, like, not that he wasn't a wonderful child, but you've got to understand this is her sick mind, um, that she really loves him and cherishes him and his, everything. So her next statement is, we have all engaged in something crazy online. And then in parentheses, we wrote T's own admission of crazy online behavior. We have all engaged in mention something crazy online at some point, but Gannon would want everyone to get along and focus on finding him. So again, she's bringing Gannon into this. I know that many people have kids and are invested in this because it hits close to home for them. I would like to think that overall most people are genuine and want to do everything in their power to find G. With that being said, please take a step back for a moment and let me explain to you a few details that were not released. For example, just like the video was leaked, there are additional details that were hidden due to one, the department doing its job, and two, the effects of social media and how some individuals would criticize or hinder the investigation. I chose to listen. I didn't leak the videos or information. This statement is false. T leaked emails between her and Al. She leaked a video of Gannon crying. She had a recorded phone call with someone on social media. T used her social media to bully and slander Landon, even to the point of tormenting Landon with a video of Gannon waving by and jumping into the water. So then she goes on. But at this time, it's getting later in the process, and we just want Gannon home. I feel the need to fill in some gaps. Now, let me stress this. Police have known this since the first interview. Saturday night, G was helping me unload the garage and cut his foot because there are lots of tools because Al does woodworking. So, in here, she's telling us, or the affidavit describes blood reactant to the Blue Star agent on the back of the Tiguan, as well as the garage floor under where the rear hatch of the Tiguan was backed into the garage. She is setting up an excuse for them to finding blood in those areas. Are you back?
I am.
Okay. So she is already running on defense here, or actually offense. She's already creating these scenarios that if you're to find something here, that's why. He sat on the edge of the car and we bandaged it up and he was good to go. He always loves helping his dad in the garage build things like his Lego tables and the flower pot they built for me as a gift. Why does she say this? This statement is very self serving. By saying this, she tells us she receives gifts from Gannon. Gannon loves her. She's a good stepmother. Al helps Gannon make these gifts. Her husband loves her and believes she is a good stepmother. It's all about her image.
Yeah, definitely.
After this,
Oh, sorry, I interrupted
I
you.
that's okay. No, you're fine. You're fine. After this, I noticed G kept going to the side of the house. There's significance here. What is she trying to paint? Why is she trying to paint a story about it when it comes to the side of the house? Or what kind of a story is she trying to paint? This may later explain the back door of their house opening and closing 10 or more times on 1/27/2020. It may have also been said to explain what Leticia may have thought ADT motion sensors would pick up, in quotations. Finally, we know the back door was open several times in a small window of time on that Monday. Perhaps she was afraid Gannon's DNA was on that gate or the side of the house. This statement would offer up a previously stated explanation that would then have to be expanded upon when confronted about any physical evidence in those locations. Does that make sense?
It makes sense to me. What do you guys think down in the chat? Let's see what the
That's right.
chat has to say.
Rebecca, yes, she did leak all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we'll get to that part. We have that in there. Okay, so you left off with the statement would offer up a previously stated. Okay, Amy,
Yes,
you
love.
left off with the part that the statement would offer up a previously stated explanation that would have to be expanded upon when confronted, correct?
Correct. So the next one would be
Okay.
he told.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm on the same page. All right.
Yeah.
So Tisha's statement to the media goes on to say, he, as in Gannon, told me he was checking to see if the gate was locked because he was the only one with a gate key. It made him proud to be the man of the house while Albert was away. This is a lie. As far as we know, Al was still home on Saturday. Him and his mother left for the airport Saturday evening. Al would have had to be present for this injury if it occurred. I'm getting all kinds of feedback. I don't know why. And Al was still the man of the house during the time frame she describes. Fast forward, these are T's words. Fast forward, we did a hike on Sunday, cleared, and shopping on Monday, cleared as well for him getting out of the other side. Please don't think for a second that there isn't enough of technology to determine shadows and movements around the truck. There was also proof from my phone that we had taken a selfie in the truck in our driveway that was time stamped. I'd like to know how, because Tisha left her phone at home. No selfie is listed in the affidavit, nor is it mentioned with Gannon's phone history explained within the affidavit. It doesn't make sense. She says that they took a selfie in the driveway that was time stamped, but that's not in the it's not in the affidavit. And she even went as far as having, or maybe it was her texting from Gannon's phone. We don't know. There was a text from Gannon's phone that said, "Hey, Tisha left her phone at home. Text Gannon's phone." That's not verbatim, but that's the gist of it. So, um, it's interesting. It's interesting that she mentions this selfie, but it's not entered into evidence within the affidavit as far as we can see. T goes on to say, "We always send pictures to Albert when we are out and about or when he is away." Again, Tisha didn't have her phone, and the text from Gannon's phone sent to Al said T forgot her phone and to text Gannon's phone is needed. And Tisha said that can be scanned for actual time verification. Last, from day one, the sheriff's office has known a description of the person/friend whom Gannon left with. If we expand upon this, Tisha gave 4 different versions of what happened that day. Examples are Eduardo, Quincy. She also makes it sound like Gannon left willingly, which contradicts her multiple stories of Gannon being kidnapped. The kidnapper, or the story that the kidnapper was still present in the house when the cops arrived. There is so many contradictions in her statements when you go through her statements and you compare them to the affidavits, or the one affidavit. The contradictions are unreal.
Very much so. Very much so. And, you know, she did provide a goodness, a description of the friend who Gannon left with. Well, not really. She said at first that he went to a neighbor's house, but she didn't know which kid. And then she told the police the Eduardo story. If the police had believed that for a hot minute, there would have been a description out publicly because that child was missing.
Right.
And there never was.
Right.
And they shot that story down immediately.
Oh, they did. They did. She goes on to say, Tisha's own words, "I explained to them and provided evidence. They had information about G having the key to go out the side gate. Per the affidavit, though," this is our contradiction to what she said. Per the affidavit, the back door of the house was open 10 times based on the ADT log. Was Tisha trying to say Gannon had the key to the back gate in case investigators questioned how he would have gotten out of a backyard with a locked gate? Has that key been located? T originally said, if any of you have followed this, I think most of you have followed this from the beginning, T's original story was that Gannon left out of the back door.
She was downstairs working out with headphones on when he went out the back door.
Yes. Yes. And if you have a gate that is locked with a key, in order for Gannon to get out of that backyard, Gannon would have had to have had a key. So that kind of explains, that's her explanation right there. Well, I told them that Gannon left out the back door, and Gannon would have had to have been able to unlock the gate to get out of the yard. So I have to say, Gannon had the key to the gate. He was being the man of the house while Al was away. She has an explanation for everything.
Yeah, and Bobby
Um,
Hughes just said it. She had so many lies. She even needed to take notes with her, like basically to the police station.
absolutely. Absolutely. Nobody does that.
No.
Um, T goes on to say, last, they have more in-depth details that go along with this, pointing to who sent the person or why he may have come. Again, I repeat, they have had this initially, and I was asked to keep quiet about it. But if you notice, she didn't keep quiet about it because what we're reading here is a public statement that she gave to the media. So she didn't keep quiet about this stuff. She went to the media and gave a statement. She said, I was asked to keep quiet so they could have the best shot at doing their job and bringing G home. The last thing they needed was a hindrance to their investigation. She was the biggest hindrance. She goes on to say, I encourage you to think of any suspicious cars that may have been in the area watching a few days prior. Again, this is Tisha trying to fit her narrative of Eduardo and or Quincy. She's trying to
Or any other suspicious car,
right,
really, because there's
right,
probably a 9 or 10 version 10.4.
right,
Yeah.
right. So she really I wonder if she sat down and wrote a book about this
I don't know.
because she covers all her bases. Well, Gannon left out the back door. We have a back gate that is locked with a key. The only way that Gannon could get out of that yard is with the key to the gate. So I have to say that Gannon, our 11-year-old child, had the key to the gate. So that's how he got out of the backyard and ran away.
Oh, wait. Little Texas Tornado says take a look at the big billboard right in front of where Gannon was found. What
Hmm.
it I would love to know what that is.
Yeah. Could
Uh,
you
Glowing she says, because Glowing Ember asked the same thing. She says it says DIV and there's a red heart in the middle with a cross and then ORCE divorce.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. That's
That is it. I'm gonna have to go back and look, but that is a good call.
that's sick. Sorry, that's sick.
Yeah, that is
I
sick.
mean, I feel like that's calculated.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Wendy Johnson. Who was on the wanted posters in the police station? Quincy. He was one of the most wanted people, Quincy. And by the way, when she sent her husband a picture, it was his wanted poster photo. She didn't even look for a Facebook photo or something. She's like, "Oh yeah, here he is on the FBI's most wanted." Yeah.
Mhm.
She is diabolical, yes. Wow, the divorce thing has me really that has piqued my interest. Thank you for pointing that out.
It's piqued my interest too because I never noticed that.
Me either.
Never.
Mm-mm.
Synchronicity for
That's why
sure. Yeah.
I love talking to you guys
I
because collaborating. It's
Yeah, when you put all of our minds together, our chat and our subs, you guys are very, very intellectual and you pick up on things that we miss.
very astute.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You pick up on things that sometimes we don't catch. And when we put all of our heads together and all of our minds together, we come up with some pretty
Okay.
interesting things here.
Little Texas Tornado, if you want to send it to us, we will give you an email address.
Or if you're on Facebook, you can send it to the Facebook.
Yeah, send it through Messenger. Do it through Messenger if you can. Are you in the Facebook group? because I really want to see it. Tracy, we're working on it, honey. I want to see it too.
Yeah, we're trying to get it right now.
True Helper doesn't want to be called intellectual.
You just got my text from earlier. I have not yet watched your videos, True Helper, but I will. Sorry, guys.
So I sent it. She says she sent it through Messenger. So,
Did
while
you send
you're
it to WTAF or did you send it to me or did you send it to Amy?
Grey Wolf, we said no emails allowed. Meaning, you can email us, but we don't want you all putting different emails in the chat.
Yeah, no,
Respectfully.
yeah, you can email us. You can definitely reach out
Message
to us.
us.
Yeah. You can message us. We're just not swapping.
Okay. So, Little Texas Tornado, if you're not on the Facebook group yet, that's okay.
She has to join Facebook. She's not on Facebook. Okay, let me give you the email address.
It's
wickedtruths@wtaf.net.
And if you look up above your most recent comment, Manda Texas Gal has posted it for you as well.
Yeah, Little Texas Tornado. We had to slow the chat down because it was moving pretty quick. So sometimes we slow the chat down so that we can catch every comment and be able to interact with all of you. Let me check I'll get in the email and I'll wait for it.
Okay. Do you want me to go on with the next article?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to mute myself for a second if you guys don't mind.
So, no problem. Okay. Yeah, you know what, Glowing Ember, I bet his superlative was like class clown or like funniest, most likely to end up being a comedian or something. Speaking of True Helper. Okay, so the next article we kind of analyzed was the first segment for Crime Online, and the author is Lee Egan. The date is February 27th, 2020. And the headline was Gannon Stokes' stepmom reveals where she went the day Colorado boy disappeared. And so there is an editor's note, and I know it's kind of boring, but I feel compelled to read it. Editor's note. The story has been corrected to reflect that Gannon's stepmother said he did not walk out of a basement door on January 27th. He walked down to the basement area after he arrived home in the afternoon, but did not exit through the basement door. So, and then it kind of starts off, or it doesn't kind of, it definitely starts off with the original story. So, I'll read it very quickly because it's what we all know already. But to preserve the integrity of the article, it must be read. It's been 1 month since 11-year-old Gannon Stout vanished from his Colorado home. As part of Crime Online's investigation into the disappearance, we spoke exclusively with Tisha Stout, the stepmother of Gannon and the last person to see him alive. Stout last saw Gannon on January 27th at some point between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. at their Lorson Ranch home off Mandan Drive near Colorado Springs. Stout said Gannon left to go to a friend's house and never returned home. She isn't sure which friend Gannon wanted to see, and none of the boys' friends saw him that day, according to Gannon's father, Al Stout, in an interview with NBC5 in January. How do you protect your children from predators? Oh, sorry. That was an ad in the article. Okay. Although Gannon was initially listed as a runaway by El Paso County Sheriff's Office, spokesperson Sergeant Deborah Manette said his status quickly changed to endangered and missing due to his age, the weather conditions, and his medical needs. Authorities cannot confirm that Gannon left home by himself, but Manette said that if they thought Gannon had been abducted, they would have already released that information to the public. No one in the neighborhood spotted Gannon leaving his home on the afternoon of January 27th, at least no one that has publicly reported it. Gannon missed school that day. None of his classmates saw him. Stout is aware that the centerpiece of speculation and rumor since Gannon's trail appears to end with her. However, she maintains that she is worried about Gannon and has no idea where he could be. She stressed to Crime Online that she has never harmed Gannon and would never put him in harm's way. So this is Leticia's statement. Something is not right. I'm so mad. They have spent all this time and haven't found him. Why? Because they are chasing me. So what Leticia is saying here is something isn't right. The FBI and law enforcement don't believe me. They have spent all this time and haven't found him. This is pride. I'm responsible for that. When she says why she is dropping why she is dropping this right now, that's because they are, in her words, chasing her. She wants us to believe that she's concerned. She's innocent and the police are wasting their time looking at her. She's trying to deflect attention from herself as well as feign concern for her missing stepchild. So, goes on to say, neighbor Roderick Drayton provided home security footage to Fox 31 Denver that showed Gannon leaving the home with his stepmother in a red Nissan Frontier truck around 10:20 a.m. Drayton reportedly said the security footage was from January 27th. Tisha Stout returned home in the truck the same day around 2:20 p.m., Drayton said. He added that Tisha Stout returned home alone without Gannon. Stout denied the allegation. Stout told Crime Online that Gannon was with her when she arrived back home and that as he exited the truck, he was holding a white bag in his hand. Stout theorized that Drayton may have provided the incorrect date of the surveillance footage since her teen daughter arrived home on January 27th at around 4:38 p.m. and parked in the same spot her truck was spotted in on security footage. So here, Leticia is trying to confuse the reader with dates and times and creating a credibility issue with Drayton's statement. Leticia hates this video, and it has been stated when Leticia was presented with the information that Drayton had video from that day, and if she wanted to see it, she replied no. We both couldn't have been parked there, Stout said. Something is not right. I even helped my stepdaughter get the bike out of the garage. She's saying, I'm a good stepmother. This is impossible. And by the way, I'm a good stepmother. I help. And then her and my teen daughter went to Dollar Tree. Truck was on the road then. This is the second time in this article she uses this phrase. And the phrase is, something is not right. She creates doubt and segues into an explanation about why something cannot be true. Stout added that she clearly remembered giving Gannon a white bag to hold on January 27th in case he puked, she said. The little boy had pooped his pants the day prior and had been having issues with his stomach. What she's saying here is, if anyone saw him and he didn't look normal, it's because he was sick. This is why he stayed home that day. This started the night before. And it can also be noted that Gannon, most likely due to being a preemie, had chronic gastrointestinal issues. So, we know that Drayton, said to the press over and over again that he didn't look right. He looked drugged or he looked injured. I believe these statements, she's trying to justify the way he might look on that video, although she denies that the video that Roderick provided was legitimately January 27th. And also, like we mentioned before, apparently Drayton went down to their house, down to the Stout house after he saw the videotape and, said to Leticia, like, hey, I have video from that day. Do you want to see it? And she said, no. So she didn't want this video to be in existence for some reason or another, even though she says it's the wrong date. So I'm going to look at the chat now, see what you guys are talking about. So let's see. Amanda Texas Gal says the Google Maps image of the location where his body was found from March 2019 closest billboard is of an attorney. Maybe it's a divorce attorney. Are you back?
I am.
Oh, that was dumb. I'm sorry. Because I'm a blonde. Yeah. I need a little break. Do you mind?
Yo, go ahead.
Okay. I'm
You guys
gonna
are going to have
mute
to bear
myself.
with me for 1 second.
Oh, well, I'll hang on until you can. I'll read the chat because I've just been babbling. So I'll read the
Okay.
chat until
Where
you're
did
ready,
you
okay?
Okay, where'd you leave off at on the article? Because I
Um,
was a little
okay. So, oh, wait, hold on. Chris is walking out here. Let me mute for a second, okay?
okay. All right, guys, it's just me for a moment. So, hybrid Pisces, that stands out to me as well. You said, oops. You said the poop just pants stands out to me, excrement, concern, or desire to humiliate Gannon, or both. I personally see it as a way to humiliate Gannon. Um, but
Sorry.
it could have been also Tisha. That was her way of expressing her frustration with that issue. I don't know. I don't know, but just my thoughts and my
Why she used that terminology?
yeah, my
I think it
speculation
was,
was to humiliate him.
yeah, I think she did that a lot, and I don't think she could restrain herself for doing it then.
Right.
I mean, if he was so embarrassed to go to school and she was trying to protect his embarrassment by keeping him home, why would she tell the press that?
Right.
Right? There's a lot other ways. I'll be honest with you guys, I had trouble reading it because that particular phrase is not something that's in my vernacular. I tend to, like maybe if like I'm talking to little kids and those are the words they're using at the time because that's how they communicate, that's one thing. But
Mhm.
I don't talk like that.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. I agree. So, I don't know.
And
There's a lot to be taken from what she said. I'm so sorry, but Amy, I was not listening when I muted myself. I don't know where you
no,
left
no, no,
off.
that's okay. So I'm on the Lee Egan story, the first one,
Okay.
and I just read what you were just talking about, the part with Stout added that she clearly remembered giving Gannon a white bag. So,
Okay. Do you know what?
did you print it out?
No. No.
Can you see like pages on your computer?
5. Yeah. I'm on.
Okay, 5, 6. I'm on page 7.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Nope. I'm on page 7, and I just read the second paragraph on page 7. They're not really paragraphs, but you know what I mean.
Yes. Okay.
So the next statement would be
Another security
another.
footage.
Yes. Do
Okay.
you mind if I step away for a second?
Nope, you're fine.
Okay.
You're
All right.
fine.
All right. Thank you.
Are you guys ready to keep going? Are you still wanting us to keep streaming down there in the chat? Let me know. I don't want anybody to be bored. We've been on almost 2 hours now, so I just want to make sure everybody's still hanging in there with us. Okay, so all right, you're ready, Tracy. I'll go with it. Okay, this is the same story from Lee Egan that Amy was reading. It goes on to say, another security footage clip aired on Fox 31 Denver. I just have to add that is our favorite news station here at WTAF. We love Fox 31. They're real stand-up people. Anyways, another security footage clip aired on Fox 31 Denver showed the red truck parked on the curb in front of the Stout house. A boy who appeared to be Gannon exited the truck wearing a backpack. It's unclear what day that particular footage was captured, but Stout said it showed her arriving home with Gannon on January 27th. Of course, Tisha's going to say that because that fits her narrative. Her narrative fit is that she came home with Gannon and Gannon ran away. The article goes on. This is definitely Monday when we got back, Stout said, referring to the clip. Same clothes, and he had a bag in his hand. Something's not right. I have said from day one that I never backed in the driveway when he and I return. This is her third use of something's not right. This is the third time she has said something's not right. When she says that she has When she says that she has said from day one, what she is really saying is, how many times do I have to tell my story before you believe me? And yes, that was 100% sarcasm from me when it comes to Fox 31 Denver. They so graciously placed my photo and Amy's photo up on their news channel with a fake article, a false article, and slander. So, not my favorite news station.
Not mine either. Not exactly
Yeah,
fair and balanced.
I mean, yeah, definitely not fair and balanced, but hey. Crime Online reached out to Drayton for comment, but he was not immediately available. Stout admitted the footage that captured her leaving on the morning of January 27th was likely correct. She said she did back the truck in the driveway that morning while she let it warm up. She added that Gannon dropped one of his electronics as he was getting into the truck and she picked it up for him. She backed the truck into the driveway because Gannon was sick and having difficulty walking. Gannon dropped electronics, and what a good stepmom. She picked it up for him. That's what she is trying to create in that narrative. Not accidentally dropped it, not he wasn't feeling good and dropped it. She just said he dropped it and she picked it up. Like she did him a favor. She doesn't elaborate that he wasn't feeling well or anything. She's just giving herself a little bit more credit in that statement. Authorities have not confirmed or denied the accuracy of the surveillance footage. There was no date listed on the footage that Drayton provided to the local media. Drayton told Fox 31 that something was not right with Gannon, adding that the boy looked drugged and sluggish as he walked to the truck on January 27th. I saw him come out of the house, get into the truck. Something's not right, Drayton said. She came back, locked her truck. Nobody got out of the truck. Is this a coincidence or is Leticia repeating Roderick's words? Because she was keeping tabs on everything being said about her. And Drayton said, something's not right, which is something that Tisha then repeated within her interview with Crime Online. She said it, something's not right, several times. Gannon Stout, the Nissan Frontier, and paths taken. Keisha Stout said she drove her husband's truck on January 27th as a way to cut down on her mileage on her own vehicle. She explained that her car was leased and she would have to pay a fee or have to buy the car outright if she went over certain miles each month. She was Our observation is that she most likely was aware that Al's truck did not have GPS capability, unlike the car not used in the Volkswagen Tiguan. Running errands on a day you had planned on being at work would not usually warrant a concern for additional miles. And just to clarify, when you lease vehicles, you're not given a monthly amount of mileage. You are giving a yearly amount, usually over a certain number of years, depending on your lease. If it's 2 or 3 years, you're giving a total amount of miles that you're allowed to drive during your lease. That's my knowledge from leasing. That's what's happened every time I've leased. I've never heard of a monthly amount, but
I've never leased a car, so I don't know.
yeah, anytime I leased a car, it was like you were given 30, I was given 36,000 miles for 3 years. So
Gotcha.
it doesn't go by month, it goes by the term of your lease. She also said that she needed the room in the back of the truck to bring used sports equipment to Play It Again Sports, a sporting good store that buys and sells new and used sporting goods. Stout said she planned to shop for hockey equipment for Gannon since it was the only sport he had shown interest in. Again, just our observations. Tisha is trying to make herself appear as like, look at what a good stepmom I am. I'm not carting around my sick son. I'm selling my sporting equipment so I can buy Gannon some hockey equipment. I had things for my house in the back of the truck that day. If you find something linked to my house, that's why, because there was stuff in the back of the truck that day. She's covering her tracks, and she did that, I believe, with the plywood that was found, right?
The particle board, yes.
Yeah, the particle board. It could have flown out of the truck, she said. So they later went to Castle Rock to find a new bicycle for Al Stout, who was out of town working at the time, Stout said. In this statement, Leticia is trying to portray herself as a thoughtful and giving wife. And if you consider at the same time, if you go back to her search history, she wasn't happy in her marriage. She was looking for a single man with money with no kids. She was tired of being the caregiver of Al's children. All of her searches don't line up with her statement here. And not to mention, if you have a child home who's sick, you don't really go carting them around town for a 4-hour period and go bike shopping and go sell sports equipment. And
No.
yeah, she should have wrote better notes. Stout admitted that she left her phone at home on January 27th, but said she had an Apple smartwatch on the entire time, which can easily track her whereabouts. Again, another observation here is obviously this is an explanation for the phone being at home. There's also a defensive statement in there, like, I wore my watch, I can still be tracked, so I wasn't trying to hide anything by leaving my phone at home. Tisha explained her whereabouts may seem confusing because she took the back roads that morning because there had been a wreck. She said at one point she got lost and had to turn around. She also said she took exit 163 off of Highway 105, but did not remember the exact time. She gives too many details for not remembering why. This is just an attempt to create confusion. You remember where you turned, for what reasons, and that you got lost, but you don't remember the time. No, she has markers for the time, Petco, and she has to be home in time to meet Lena, who would be arriving home from school soon. So her statements do not line up with what we know. They don't line. She knew she had to be home to get Lena. She knew, and another way to explain this is that you can't get lost. Locals, one of our WTAF admins and team members is a local to this area, and you can't get lost in the area that Tisha said she got lost in.
No, we were told that there are signs everywhere.
Right.
Like when you pull off, it says like if you go straight, this is what you'll find. If you go right, there's a 7-Eleven, blah 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 blah. To the left, all the things that are to the left. That there's just no way anybody gets lost there.
Right. Right. So, if you do you want
You
to
want me
pick
to
up?
take it over?
Yeah.
Okay. Tisha explained her whereabouts may seem confusing because you just said that. Sorry. When asked why Gannon missed school yet went out shopping on the same day, Stout said he stayed out school mostly because he was embarrassed that he might have an accident in class since he was dealing with bouts of both constipation and diarrhea. So our observations are that she answers why Gannon missed school, but she does not address why they were out shopping when by her own account he was experiencing diarrhea, nausea, and constipation. If he was afraid of having accidents, why were they out in a car? Stout added that Gannon's medication caused him to have stomach issues and bowel problems. And our observations are these issues are in no way related to me, meaning she's saying, like he always has these problems. It has nothing to do with me. It has to do with his medication. I didn't do anything to him that would cause these things. So,
Right.
um, we want to check the chat and see what's going on in there.
Yeah, we can do that. So, what are you guys saying down there? Raquel, yes, she's lost in the head. That is a very polite way of describing her. Sweet, crazy, you love the Tisha tissues. That's I don't think I'll ever get past that. That is probably
Oh my
I
god.
don't know how investigators kept a straight face. This is why I could not be a cop or an investigator because you guys, I would lose it. I would be one of those people that would be like, WTAF, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like you're shoving tissues in your pants. Come on.
You kind of wonder how they would portray that in a Lifetime movie.
Bobby Hughes, you said you have driven that road numerous times to Denver Airport, and it's a straight shot to Castle Rock. Yeah, that's what we have heard. There's no really getting lost on that road like Leticia likes to say that there is.
Yep.
Tracy Walker, Tisha didn't say she left her phone at home by accident. She didn't. You're right.
Mm-mm.
She never said it was an accident. I'm sorry. Anybody who's out with a sick child driving around and has another child that they have, some sort of guardianship or power of attorney over within the custody documents, and their husband is 2 states away in Oklahoma, um, and there's a child in school, you're gonna turn around for your phone. They didn't have Leticia and Al didn't have family in Colorado.
Mm-mm.
So if Lena, I mean, so how did Tisha know that Gannon didn't have like the stomach flu, right? If you have one sick child and you have multiple children in your home, you you almost always assume that your other child is going to get sick, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So when you leave your home and you have a child in school, you're going to take a phone with you in case a child gets sick.
In
So
case
that
Lena is sick,
right, in case
especially when they're not your children.
right, right. Yeah,
Especially.
Tracy Walker, tissue stuffing would be in a comedy movie. You can't make this stuff up, right?
Mm-mm.
You
No.
can't.
No. The note cards and the tissues.
Glowing Ember, you can imagine Lucille Ball doing a comedy routine with those tissues.
Good Lord.
Oh gosh. Yes. Yes. Yeah, Bobby. Gannon did have belly problems. That's previously been discussed. But what we're saying is that Tisha was adamant that Gannon was sick that day and had to stay home from school. So
And the reason she states is because he was scared or embarrassed that he'd have an accident in class. But the way she originally states his stomach problems by the use of the terminology she uses, that he I hate even saying it, but that he it says she remembered giving Gannon a white bag in case he puked. She said the little boy had pooped his pants the day prior and had been having issues with his stomach. So to me, and this is just me, but to me, it's like she resented the fact that he had stomach problems. She said he stayed home because he was embarrassed, but yet she makes a public statement, and when like one of the crassest ways she could have described what was going on with him, and she says it publicly.
mhm.
It's there's resentment there, and there is shame, and there is it, it re, I can only this is what I imagine in my head. I imagine her being insensitive and verbally abusive to him when he had stomach problems at home,
Mhm.
and she couldn't resist the opportunity to do it publicly.
Right. That's sick.
She had some disdain for this child.
Mhm. Well, clearly Clearly, she had
Clearly.
some
Yeah.
um her behavior is it's a whole nother topic, a whole nother live to even try to get into if there were red flags and all of that. But
Mm-hmm.
her behavior is very, very alarming to us as outsiders looking in.
Well, anytime
So
she speaks of Gannon and things she'll do, or, things that have to do with him, they have like a negative. There, it's she tries to make it sound like it's positive, like she was protecting him for having an embarrassing accent, but yet she's very crass in the way she states it publicly. And
mhm,
then, in her interview with her back turned to the camera, she says, I just, these aren't her exact words, but like, I really want him home. And then, again, you could explain to everybody that, everybody owes me an apology. Like, it's not like we'll be so, I'll hug you and if you really ran away, I'm not mad at you or, anything like that. It's like you could explain to everybody why I didn't do this.
right.
Like it's on him. It's on a little boy
Yeah, yeah,
to
she
explain how the adult that was supposed to be in charge with him wasn't responsible for did a poor job at keeping him safe that day. And now he's
absolutely.
gone. It's on
I
him to
agree.
explain it.
That's
So,
a true testament of her character.
mm-hmm.
Complete testament of her character and her I don't even know if it's a maturity level, it probably more her mindset, you know?
Mm-hmm.
She
Yeah.
she just
Yeah, she did love to humiliate Gannon and Landon.
she did.
Any opportunity she could take. Yep.
Yes. Um,
Yes. Knowing
like,
what we know now, an apology statement is so disgusting.
Pranvera Dowdy says she resented Gannon very much. I am inclined to believe she resented him more than Lena because Gannon loves his mom unconditionally, and Tisha couldn't influence that. Lena was younger, so it was easier. Yeah, we've said that here actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually personally been told that she did resent Gannon. She resented the relationship that Gannon had with his mother, but also with his father because him and Al were close from my understanding. Um, it just sounds like a jealous stepmother. Like
Mm-hmm.
she just I had mentioned this previously too. Tisha had a daughter, so there may not have been as much jealousy when it came to Lena because Lena was a girl, whereas Gannon was a
Mm-hmm.
boy, and that was something that Tisha didn't have of her own, and she could never give that to Al either.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, this is another one of those cases that the psychological aspect of it is very intriguing, and we could go very deep into this and discuss this at length. Um, trying to figure out the whys.
Right. There is, if you want to just wrap up this article, there's only like a few more things, and mine are handwritten because that other information came in and I was
Okay.
fussing. If you want to just finish it up so that then we can just go back to whatever else we want to talk about.
Yeah. What page did
But,
you leave off on?
oh, you're going to
Sorry.
make me count again. No, it's okay. I can
Sorry. I
count.
need to
One,
like
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we're on 10. The top of the page says the security system.
okay.
Okay. So
All
maybe
right.
we
So
can do this one together because I
okay.
have some notes, but
Okay, I'll read it and you
do you
read
want
your
me to go
note.
ahead and read it? Okay.
I
Okay.
don't have the
All
notes,
right.
so
Okay.
All
That's
right. So this
I'm sorry.
you're fine. The security system, Tisha Stout said, after they returned home on January 27th, Gannon seemed to be feeling okay before he left for a friend's house. He went down to his room in the basement area afterwards, according to Stout.
So it's important to note here that she gives no specific time. She just says in the afternoon. She also says he was feeling okay. He was fine Friday afternoon, fine enough for me to let him go out to play.
Monday afternoon.
Monday afternoon. So, okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're
God,
fine. You're
good
fine.
Lord, Amy. Thank you.
Crime Online obtained a copy of Stout's ADT home alarm report that showed activity in the basement and living room at the same time at around 3 p.m. on January 27th.
Right. And right here, I will stop. At the beginning of this article, there was a editor's note. And it said, I'll just read it again. Editor's note. The story has been corrected to reflect that Gannon's stepmother said he did not walk out of the basement door on January 27th. He walked down to the basement area after he arrived home in the afternoon, but did not exit through the basement door. Okay, so this is important because when Danielle reads the next two like little paragraphs.
Okay. Stout said she and Gannon were the only ones home at the time, aside from their dogs, who were outside in the backyard. She added that her 9-year-old stepdaughter arrived home from school at around 3:15 p.m. and did not see Gannon. Stout's 17-year-old daughter reportedly arrived home from work at around 4:38 p.m. and minutes later left with the 9-year-old to go to a Dollar General store. She too did not see Gannon, according to Stout.
So she is explaining now why the reason she said that he went down to the basement is why there's activity in the house when he in two different places when he is supposed to be gone to a friend's house. She also mentions that Lena didn't see him when Lena arrived home around 3:15 because he's already gone when we have conflicting information in the affidavit. She also says Stalk's 17-year-old daughter, when she arrived home and then they left shortly, the reason they didn't see Gannon, she's explaining, is because he was out with a friend. So, if it comes out later that, like Lena didn't see Gannon and, you said he came home with you and Harley didn't see Gannon. Well, I already told you he was out with a friend, but she doesn't ever lay down a specific time. These are her words. She has
Right.
specific times that she uses for Lena, 3:15 p.m. She has specific times for Harley, 4:38 p.m., but she can't remember what time her child that's been with her all day left to go to a friend's house that she didn't know.
Right.
So she's just swirling all this stuff around him. And that's pretty much where the article ends. It just tells you like the search continues, how many tips and like where to report them. And meanwhile, it's
Yes.
just terrible. This awful, awful, awful.
It is. It's very awful. I gotta do something really quick. If you can just bear with me for a second. I'm
Sure.
sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Check out the chat. Checking out the chat. And it's rolling, rolling, rolling. Okay, what are you guys talking about? Some what not with the Rona floating around? What are you guys talking about? Amanda says it's maddening and it pisses me off. I agree. All right, you guys are talking about the coronavirus. Okay, I'm going to back up a little bit. C. Mitch says, so there's sunny windows in his basement bedroom. Yeah, there's, we kind of went through that before. If you just joined us, it says, we're saying that It's a north facing room, and based on that time of day and where the sun would have been, that picture was probably taken between 7 and 8 a.m. Actually, I'm gonna watch. Let's see, what's okay. My kids are brats. How can he be playing with friends? Wouldn't they be in school? That's a really good point, because if she says he left before Lena got home and Lena got home at 3:15, then yeah, his other friends wouldn't be home either. That's a really good point. That's probably why she changed the times in the story later on, because she had to make that fit. Because later on in the affidavit, and if you really want me to look it up, I will. But they talk about how the exact, or the almost exact times that the children got home. Sorry, I did something to my screen, so I can't see anymore. There we go. Let's see. Bobby Hughes says, I think Leticia has always been jealous of Landon, yet she got Albert, but probably the jealousy ran deep for some reason. I agree with that 100%. And Matt, I agree with you too. She's a bully, abuser, narcissist, and ultimately psychopathic. That was from way before, but I'm just kind of scrolling around here. So, um, Kimberly M. Could she have burned the rug because she couldn't get a blood stain out? Maybe she really started the fire and blamed him. Oh gosh, I never thought about that, but yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Destroy evidence with fire and then blame it on Gannon for playing with Candle. Wow. That's interesting. I'm sorry, I had to stop and think about that for a minute. Yeah,
I'm
that's really
I'm
good.
here. I'm trying to figure something out because I have somebody who's trying to comment and they can't, and
Okay.
trying to figure that out. I don't know what's going
Hmm.
on here. So
Oh,
let me
that's
try to.
okay. That's okay, Bobby. Um, we get it. So Raquel says, I think the freeway sign was sent to Messenger.
Okay.
Was it sent
Um.
to the WTAF Messenger, or to myself, or to Danielle?
Okay. I don't have any message requests, so it wasn't sent to me.
Okay.
Let me check the email.
Going Ember says, our schools start at different times. High school hour before middle, whatever. Yeah, that's true, but it's my understanding, it could be wrong. Gannon was in 5th grade. He would have been in the same school as Lena.
Mhm.
So his friend, unless his friend was in middle school and got home at a different time, if she's talking 3:15 and Lena came home and Gannon was already gone, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, she said she sent it to WTAF.
Okay. Let me get in there real quick.
Yeah, going Ember, that makes sense.
No, I can't.
Audra, she does have convenient selective memory, very much so.
Um.
Kimberly M., you think that she killed him because he caught her talking to a new prospect and she was worried he would tell his dad. I've considered that before too. If anything, she killed him because he was going to say something, and potentially because he was injured to a point where she wouldn't be able to explain it. So Maui Girl says, I still think Gannon accidentally knocked the candle over and she went off. It's very, very possible. There's just so many things that make sense, and I can make sense of them. Yeah.
Hold on one second. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just laughing because Rebecca Carr said to somebody, to Bobby Hughes, I need you to fly over here and fix my carpet with blue paint on it while I go shopping. I'll cut it out for you in advance. Just kidding. And Bobby said, oh no, it's okay. Just drive around tomorrow night at 9:30 in the dark and find a contractor working. You guys are funny. You guys are funny.
Becca Carr, if you're there, check your. Oh no, never mind. Not Becca Carr.
Raquel?
No.
No. Yeah, I think he was also. She hurt him too badly. There was no turning back. So off topic. I probably shouldn't say this, but I will. Who misses Shoot the Moon?
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. So, Shoot the Moon, if you're listening, I know that we block you every time you come back with a new account, but we really find it amusing.
We do. We do. It's kind of like playing hard to get, and then you were just like, oh, well.
Yeah.
Glowing Ember says, if Al and T were swingers, do you think she would worry about Gannon tattling that she had a man over? I think she was worried about the kids tattling about a lot of things. You know, there is that text where, you know, Lena had said something, like that Tisha was abusive, and however a 9-year-old explains that, and Al completely took Tisha's side, and to the point where he thought she was owed an apology for that. No, Tracy, I'll shoot the moon isn't back, but maybe if we say his name 3 times, he'll magically appear. Oh, and Mata. Jinx. He said say it 3 times.
I'm trying to figure out something here.
Amanda says Shoot the Moon's been in other true crime streams. Darn. He moved on. Yes, we've heard Al wanted a divorce before he went missing too. It's so difficult because a lot of this is we're speculating on hearsay. But you hear something enough times from people that provide credible information, and then you take into account that there is a little bit of truth in everything that Tisha says, you have to consider it. You have to. You're irresponsible not to. Some people you say you're irresponsible to talk about it, but in a way you're irresponsible not to consider it. We don't have any information on what Lena has said. They're yelling Beetlejuice. So, if Al wanted a divorce before, why would they go away for a week on an anniversary trip? So weird. Well, you never know. I mean, look, life changes in a day. He apparently left for a business trip and thought he could trust his wife with his children, and look how that turned out. So, yes, Al will be living with some sweet crazy with some remorse for the rest of his life. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
So, okay. I just got another message, and I'm gonna share.
Do you need a moment, or
no? I'm gonna share another photo. While checking my spam folder, looking for this billboard picture, there's another message in there. So,
okay. Do you want to look at both real quick?
Nope. I'm gonna actually upload this picture.
Okay.
And give some people some insight on, I guess, this candle situation. Thank you to the person who sent it to me. I'm glad I checked my spam folder because
Me too.
I don't always check it, and there it was. So give me just a moment, guys.
That's
Sorry.
okay. No, Kimberly,
Lots
you
of
said
delays tonight. Just bear with us.
okay. Kimberly, you said it right. You said the internet searches of her says it all. All she cared was finding a man with money. And that's true. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at them um, in the order that they are on 125. Find real military singles. Parenting should be for people, not for four people, not one. I'm doing all the work for my stepkids and their mom doesn't help. Mom advice from stepmom. If you aren't involved if in your kids' lives, you're shitty. My husband's ex-wife does nothing for her kids. I wonder if my husband's ex-wife is sending me a card since I raised her kids. There's a couple of those. Um, One day, some people wish they had treated you differently. One day, some people wish they treated you differently. There's two of those. Why should my husband choose me over family? Find me a rich guy who wants me to take care of his kids. Find a guy who wants me to take care of his kids and get paid. It's crappy some parents don't care for their kids or buy them presents. Parents are those who put their kids before their nails. Parents are those who put their kids. Well, that's the second one. My son burned the carpet. How do I fix it? These that's 127. Smoke effects will humidifier help. I mean, it's crazy, but not only is she looking for rich military singles, she's also looking for a rich guy that will pay her to take care of the kids. So you're right. Her internet searches say it all.
Mm-hmm.
Raquel, what do you say? I think T was also lying about them spending Valentine's Day together. She was already back in North Carolina. I believe they talked on the phone.
I'm gonna say this. I think maybe some people in T's camp are changing their mind because it's interesting that I get these photos and they're not from people I would expect them to be from.
Hmm. Yeah, you guys are saying a lot of interesting things right now. And Matt, that's a good point. You know, Tisha was never aligned with Al and Landon. The first press conference, she wasn't even there.
Mm-hmm.
And Lil Moore or Lily Moore believes that Lena was telling. Yeah.
All right, you guys. I want
What's wrong?
totally random. I want Taco Bell.
Well, I know, but
It's got to be a YouTube thing, like because every time I'm on YouTube, I want Taco Bell. All right, I'm bringing you guys a picture. I promise. I promise. I'm doing it right now.
it's
Just
nostalgia for the old days when you could do that. So, what are things like where you are? Like here, where I am, everything has to be shut down by 8 o'clock.
where I'm at.
Yeah,
Well,
except for gas stations. Gas stations can stay open for essential workers,
so
but
I
everything
think
else has to be closed at 8.
Taco Bell is open. But I'm not. I don't know. I get it that people need their jobs in the fast food industry. I totally respect that. I don't know. I'm not buying fast food because other people are touching it.
Yeah,
And there's cash handed through windows. And
yeah.
I mean, I know that they're taking the proper precautions and washing their hands and hand sanitizer and all that stuff, but yeah. So
Yeah.
that's where I am. Our grocery stores are shutting down. To the two grocery stores that I do go to, one closes at 10 p.m. and one closes at 8:30. And I'll just say that is difficult for me. Not that I'm the only person in the world, because I'm not, but I'm like a late night type of person.
Mm-hmm.
So I I struggle with that, but I understand it and I respect it. So,
I understand it and respect it too. I mean, but for me, with the, when the kids are here and they're homeschooling during the day, and then it's like dinner time, and then Chris gets home and there's another adult in the house, I'm not,
mhm,
that's when I can go. And so I found myself
right.
recently, if I'm not using like Instacart or something like that, like literally racing out the door at like 7:30.
Yeah, I can't even use Instacart because my banking institution has blocked our cards from Instacart because of fraud. So I'm currently waiting on a Cash App card to come
Mm-hmm.
because they do take Cash App cards.
Right.
That way I can use Instacart if I'd like to,
Right.
and transfer money back and forth like
Wow.
that. But
So
yeah,
Danielle told me so Maui Girl says theirs was extended till the end of May, so May 31st, a stay at home order. Danielle's was extended to the 15th. Is that correct?
yeah, somewhere around
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
guys
I
are,
have
go
a
ahead.
cousin actually who was her bridal shower was supposed to be tomorrow, and that's not happening. And I had a cousin who died a few weeks ago, 14 years old. He died from cancer. We couldn't even have a funeral for him. So, there's a lot of hardships going
Mm.
around just across the country, and a
Yeah.
lot of people are going through a lot of
Well,
things
even
that,
Gannon can't have a funeral.
right, even Gannon can't have a funeral.
Yeah.
It's very sad to me, very
Mm-hmm.
sad. I think of all the people who, just even the seniors in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's even up in the air, I think, for fall school, and
Yeah.
God help me.
I
Let me just tell you, God help me, God help you, God help all of us if
no,
we're teaching our kids at home in the fall.
no, no, no,
My
no.
my 16-year-old is great. My 11-year-old is like pulling teeth, but then I feel bad for my 16-year-old because he would be starting his varsity year of football last 2 years. I don't know. We're all going through stuff. It's sad.
Yeah,
It's
it
sad.
is. It is.
All right, so I have a picture coming for you guys. I promise
Okay.
it's
In the
coming.
meantime, True Helper has some breaking news. He
What's that, True
said
Helper?
he said there were some new internet searches just released. Tissues. How many
Oh.
tissues can I stuff? Where can I stuff tissues? How to get rid of that smell emanating from my pants? How not
Oh
to
my
do a dirty
gosh.
skinkzilla.
All right, guys, here's this picture.
Okay.
Let me pull this comment down. I love you, hybrid Pisces. I do have to pull your comment down though, so I can show the picture. Um, Again, let me get to where I gotta get to pull it down. Oops, I just highlighted another comment.
Yep, and Mata, you're right. Kyra and Horman's stepmom even showed up to the first press conference, and she's guilty as sin, by the way. Yep.
Gosh, I wish they'd put her in jail. I do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's another picture for you guys. This is the candle incident. Let me see if I can zoom. So this is the alleged candle incident. We'll zoom in. We'll go over this photo. I haven't really looked at it in depth, but we're going to. Let's see what we see here.
So that's supposed to be the candle knocked over with wax on the floor.
I guess. That doesn't look like wax to me, and it does not look like burnt carpet.
Mm-mm.
Anybody ever knocked a candle over and burned carpet? I have carpet in my garage. I'll be happy to do this experiment tomorrow. I'll do it live. Um, First of all, most carpet is flame resistant these days
Mm-hmm.
because that is building code standards. Um, Second of all, that doesn't look like a burn to me.
Second of all, the candle wax is The candle inside the jar appears to be white.
Mm-hmm.
And I already see Lorelai saying, I see red.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda says, I see red gunk mixed in with it.
Let's see if we
Just
can
Penny
zoom
says
in more.
that isn't even the same color, and also no way that caused smoke, let alone what she described. Matt Black says feces.
I see white chunks.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Glowing Ember says it looks more like diarrhea and blood. Katarina says the candle is white and the spill is definitely not. Lonesome Dove, it looks like blood. Maui Girl, what the hell? Actually, that's another channel, WTH or WTAF. Yeah. Pronvera says that doesn't look burned. That actually looks like, dare I say it, blood mixed with something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Raquel, you're right. It looks more like blood. All you have to do, let's see. Yeah, it's be crazy. If you get wax on the carpet, you iron it back up. Yep.
That's not a burn.
Mm-mm.
And then, first of all, why? Okay, you can see it goes under this blanket right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's going under that blanket. What in the hell is that? And then zooming back out, I mean, there's a freaking pile of blankets. There's something here, something here. Um, there's something here on the couch. Is that why she mentioned the sofa? Gannon will sell the sofa. And if you remember in the affidavit, there was blood found on the throw pillow on the sofa.
Yep.
Again, the candle wax is white, so you would expect to see white candle wax on the floor.
Okay,
And
Laura.
it would not be these white chunks.
No,
That's
no,
no.
it wouldn't. Now, Lorelai played devil's advocate here, and she said, "What if it was one of those double-tiered scented candles? That's where they layer them, and the waxes are different colors.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. Had I wouldn't have even thought about that. Just a bad penny says she poured wax to cover something in quotations.
Right. Hey, lonesome dove.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, a lot of people are saying blood and feces.
yeah, I'd love to hear your guys' input on this because
That's
this is I like to hear what you guys have to say.
So well, they're saying as soon as the candle turned over, it would have gone out. Oh, sweetly creeping in. You're welcome. We try our best. I know that some of this stuff is a little unsettling, but True Helper says it. I see red mixed within that wax. And true that, Danielle. Most carpet is manufactured with flame resistant materials nowadays.
Kelly girl, you asked who took the picture. I would assume, this is an assumption, that Tisha took the photo. I'm And it looks like this was a photo that maybe she shared with one of her friends or family members. I'm not going to say who sent it to me, but it was.
Hybrid Pisces wants to know if it's vomit. It could be.
I'm with you, Shimmer Soul. It looks like feces with blood in it.
Mm-hmm. You're the fourth person that said that now. Yeah.
Yes, I can see you, lonesome dove. I can see you now.
And Modest, staged AF. Too much wax would have hardened that way too much. I agree. Because it's not going to roll out like lava. The minute you start, I have a candle lit right now. I'm sitting in front of a table and I have a candle lit. The minute I blow it out and tilt it to the side, that wax starts rolling, and it is probably going to harden on the side of the inside of the glass before I can tip it out on the table.
Right.
And if I try to tip it out on the table, it's going to knock the flame out.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying attempted to cover up something.
Mhm. That's what it looks like to me. I think it's an attempted cover up. I think it's a story that was
Yeah.
created. Um,
Yeah, why are there so many blankets and stuff around there?
right. You remember in her, I don't remember where she said it. She said so much stuff and garbage that spewed out of that nasty mouth of hers. But uh, in one of her statements to police, I believe, or somebody, she threw blankets on it and
To put it
um,
out.
to put it
Yes.
out.
Good
And
call. I forgot about that.
her and Gannon both got burnt, and that's how the blood got on the wall because
Uh-huh.
Gannon peeled his blisters and smeared his blood on the wall. Again, she vilified Gannon like he was a bad kid and,
Mm-hmm.
took blood and smeared it on the wall. Just, I can't with this woman. I can't. I can't imagine how Landon feels because I know if I got within, like, I don't know, 10 feet of her, I'd probably be in jail. So,
Well, I'll tell you, when I saw Landon sitting in court, both her and Al could have burnt holes through Leticia with the way their eyes. Those
right,
eyes, I don't even think and I hope my eyes never have to be that strong. I don't think I could do that with my eyes. And I cannot hide my emotions with my face at all.
right, right.
Yeah, he was having stomach pains. This is insane.
It is. I'd like to know where all those blankets are
Yeah, what are
now.
they covering?
Well, I'd like to know where they went. I'd like to
Yeah.
know if law enforcement was able to recover those blankets or if that's part of the bedding that she did get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
It's very weird. I don't see Gannon's bed blanket by it. Tracy L, which blanket are you talking about?
I think she means like the one that belongs on his bed. With
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that could be possible.
like, is there one there that matches the shark sheets?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Right. Sweet crazy. I agree with you.
the candle's significant. I almost wonder if she hit him in the head with it. That's
Yeah.
speculation on my part. Did she get mad and throw it at him? Um, then she had to make up some crazy story about a candle getting knocked over and burning the carpet. I don't know. I'm speculating. Um,
They want to know if it's possible if the on the bottom left corner, if that's the wedge pillow we see in Gannon's bed.
let's see.
It looks more like the suede sofa that she describes.
Yeah, I think
But
that's the sofa. That's
so I think, we're standing up and we're holding the camera parallel
right.
to the floor.
Right. She's standing next to the sofa and taking a picture with her phone pointed down.
Right.
And that's relevant because in her audio recording video, whatever it was, where poor Gannon is crying and she's like, we'll fix it, Gannon, even if we have to sell the sofa. That is the weirdest thing ever to
Mm-hmm.
mention. I'm sorry. I've had things break in my house. I've had to sell stuff and it was never my couch. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
that's just not the type of item that you would go and sell to make a repair.
No. So Matt Black says I was a firefighter and that doesn't look like charring to me. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, oh, I'm so sorry, Jessica Goodcat. She says no, 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 the bottom right. Could that be the wedge thing? It actually that could.
The bottom right. So the
The
corner,
beige thing, and do you see where the corner is kind of a sharp corner, but it's
I think that's the corner of the wall.
oh, is it?
That's what
No.
I that's what I see it as. Hold on one second. Um I definitely think that is the corner of a wall.
Bernadette, I don't have answers to any of those questions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think that's a wedge. I think that's a corner of a
Okay.
wall. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I guess
Wait,
when you, yeah, I can see that. And then it's going around the corner and that because of the perspective of how the photo was taken. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't
So,
look like a burn. No, it doesn't. I don't feel like,
no, it doesn't look like a burn. That looks like something globbed into the
yeah.
carpet. And there's red. There's red chunks right here.
Yep.
There's white chunks right here. That's not, unless that's carpet fibers coming up, but I don't see how a random carpet fiber would just pop up in the middle of all that goo and whatever that is. There's red right here. There's
Right.
chunky red stuff here. And then you have this over here and it goes under the blanket. There's something here. It's
Okay, two things. Katarina said that is 100% blood. Also, the splatter is facing to the upper right, and the open end of the candle is facing straight down. Doesn't even make sense how it's positioned.
it doesn't. That's a good
That's a
point.
good point. And Matt, I'll just tell you, he says there's no baseboard, and in a lot of
It's a
homes,
basement. It's a
it's a
basement too.
basement. Well, also in a lot of homes, like what they call builder grade, they don't put baseboards in.
Right. Especially I think a lot of times in basements. Um I have several family members with finished basements that do not have baseboards in.
Right. It's not very common in basements. It does look like, I'm sorry, it does look like coagulated blood.
I mean, we can look at the photos of the basement, but I'm pretty sure there's no baseboards in the
Sweetly creeping
basement.
in says, so what was the premise behind taking this picture? Was it requested by Al? Gosh.
You're right, Angelique. The pattern isn't consistent to a spilled candle.
Mm-mm.
So when my father died, there was something on the floor similar to this, and it was vomit. He died of sudden liver failure. It was vomit mixed with blood. I don't know that that's what this is, but it is very, very like when I see that, that's what I see. My brain goes back to seeing that on my father's carpet. He did not die a traumatic death; it was a sudden death. But there was something very similar like this on his carpet, but it wasn't all. It was like a more of a circle, instead of having.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
I'm gonna be sick.
are you good? Or I mean, you wanna?
No, I'm okay. I just, there's like for me, I guess I look at something and it's very abstract, and then I think about all the other things I know and the emotion I have tied, and then the reality sets in of what I'm actually looking at. It's no longer abstract.
Right.
And I'm kind of pinging back and forth between the two right now. Like I can look at it and be very candid about what I see, and then I start thinking about how that happened, what that could possibly be, and whose it is, and how it happened, and it makes me sick.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
They're
Absolutely.
asking if you could zoom back out.
Zoom back out. Absolutely. You guys just tell me what to do and I'll do it. I have no problem zooming back out. There you go. Jill H, so you've seen the same thing with your own father. I'm sorry you went through that, but yeah, it does look very, very similar to that.
Maui Girl says, "What do you think T would have been asking Gannon about if it wasn't the candle?" I
Well, there's some theories about that.
Yeah.
Um,
Could it be Wait.
so
Oh, go ahead. Go. I'm gonna
so
listen.
this is speculation on my part, you guys. Tisha multiple times within her stories that she told police, she mentioned sexual encounters. Okay, she claimed to be raped. She claimed this. She claimed Eduardo. She claimed this Quincy guy. All of her lies. What we have learned so far since January 27th up until now is that there's always a little bit of truth within what Tisha says. She tells us stories, we just have to find the truth within what she's saying. Part of me wonders, it was late at night when this happened. We know this because of the video that she posted, as well as the text messages that were leaked on the Apple Watch. Did Gannon see something? Did she have somebody over, some male over when Albert had left? Did Gannon walk in and see something? Was that her motive? Like, I don't know. I'm completely speculating here. I don't know if that's true. That's just thoughts that run through my head.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I've had
and
similar thoughts, and I've
glowing
shared them
numbers,
with you.
glowing numbers. She did say that, and that's a pretty serious thing to say
Yeah,
about
that
a
was.
child. I'm not gonna repeat it like live, but
Yeah,
the comment is there.
it was a very graphic statement.
Yes, yes,
Well, I'm not. Yeah, Katerina, white candle spilled on carpet is still white when it hardens. Looks like she put some chunks of the candle on the stain to make it look real. I don't know how. I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't know how she thought that was going to look real. There is red in it. Yes. I'm not going to read the rest of your comment, Heather, but I'm not going to say that there isn't a pattern of thinking that would match that comment.
yeah.
Yeah, listen to how she is. Okay, Pranvera Dowdy, you say it's concerning how she always alludes to rapes, even prior to the Gannon case. Rape seems to be her go-to, and it's extremely disturbing. It is, and if it's not rape, um, it's sexual harassment.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has to do with that. It is a centric theme.
Yeah.
No, Heather, it's okay. I know you didn't like typing it, and it's okay. And I'm glad you feel comfortable enough to say that, and I'm glad you shared it.
Yeah, you can always speak freely here. Don't ever apologize for that. Sometimes we just won't read the comments fully just because of censorship issues and stuff like that. But your comments do stay down in the chat and you are allowed
Right.
to speak
And,
freely and speak your
and we
mind.
can all see them. There's some things that just don't bear repeating. It's
Right, right,
and it's not because you've offended us or anything like that, or we think
right, right,
at all. It's better if we do the use the chat and use innuendo about what we're speaking about.
right. So it's a lot to take in for the evening. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either. Is this Gannon's room?
No.
No.
This
This
is, I believe, the living area in the basement. There was a sofa in the basement that is discussed in the affidavit. That sofa actually had blood evidence taken from a throw pillow that was on the sofa.
Mhm. So Sweet Crazy, we're careful with that name, but there is nothing, there has been no statements that would say that that person wasn't home at this time. That's what I will say. There's nothing that says that she was, but there's nothing that excludes her from being home.
She actually said that she was.
So, okay.
She said that she was. She got home later that night after hiking at Garden of the Gods.
Okay.
You can refer back to her original interview, and I believe she says something. So it was something to the extent of, so yeah, I got home after they went hiking, blah, 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 blah. So I think by all accounts, she was home. That's my
Tracy, you're okay with that one.
yeah, you're okay with that one. I promoted that channel. I yeah. Undisputed Truth is a different type of YouTube channel. It's not
It's not in the same genre exactly.
Amanda, Texas girl, you said the room cannot be verified, but it's believed to be the living area of the basement. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yes,
bones.
Allison, you're right. Tisha's daughter was supposedly left home with Gannon while T went to pick up Burger King. That was stated.
Yeah. Yep.
I agree
Mm.
with you, Blonde PT. That theme is very disturbing within this case. So there you have it, guys. That's what we have so far.
Now, this isn't what we had planned for tonight, but
It wasn't. We still threw in there a little bit of what we had planned,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
um
And I think we stumbled through what we had planned because everything's been
we
so
did. We did.
crazy. But
We did. Yes, Burger King was Sunday night. Manda Texas girl said Burger King was Sunday night, and that was actually the same night that this candle incident appeared or happened. I'm sorry. And those text messages are in our Facebook group. I know, Lonesome Dove. Poor Gannon. Poor Gannon. Um, so Katerina Carrison says maybe he had an accident in his pants and she got mad. That would explain why she kept asking if he did it on purpose and brought up him doing that several times. She did ask him, Gannon, I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose?
right. But then she said we're gonna have to sell something to fix it too.
We'll sell the sofa or something. And you can see the sofa right here. It's got whatever that stuff
It
is.
has something on it.
Right. Right. The candle falling it doesn't add up with what we see on the floor, even if the candle was on I mean, where was that candle sitting that it ended up right there on the couch?
Right. Right. Because you don't see an end table. You don't see. Yeah.
Right. This
Yeah.
right here, I don't know if I can make it any bigger. This appears to be like a pillar in the basement. You know how basements have the metal pole
Yeah.
support beams?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when a basement's refinished, they will encase them like that. Um, I mean, it could be a table, but even then, how does a candle bounce from a table here, fly over the couch, leave a stain here, end up here, but then all of the liquid ends up over here?
Right.
No,
In the
it doesn't
middle.
add up.
In the middle of a pile of blankets that don't appear to have anything on them.
Right,
It's like the blankets are on top of the mess and not and weren't there when it
right,
happened.
right.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's very Heather Lawrence. We don't know if the carpet was ever found. Oh, I like that, Hurricane Holly. Let's smash that like button like T's face on the way out. Definitely.
Thank
Definitely.
you.
Get rid of some aggression on that like button.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Raquel, I think so too. So, guys, I don't know if you have any questions or anything before we wrap it up. We've been on here 3 hours. We've dropped quite a bit of info just in those 2 photos alone. And
They want to know if you can zoom in on the couch, what we think is the couch, real quick.
absolutely. Absolutely. Let me
He
do
says, I
that.
thought it was a smear, but it looks like 2 holes or slash marks even.
Oops, let's get it.
Hurricane Holly, I
Let's
want to
see
know
how
what's
much
under
I
the
can get it
blankets
zoomed.
too. Outro. My screen's already cracked.
All right, that's the best that I can zoom in.
So going.
But again, this photo has been posted in our Facebook group. So you guys can obviously zoom in on your phone or whatever and do your own research on it. But
You know that does look like it punctured the couch, or it's a very, very dark. And it's in just a
yeah,
line.
I think it's smeared
Yeah.
and it was probably cleaned. Thank you, Firefly.
Oh.
Bobby Hughes, should these pictures have even been shared? Well, T's arrested. We haven't released anything that law enforcement doesn't have, so I think we're okay.
It kind of does look like slashes. I can see where you're saying that, just a bad penny. I can. I can see it both ways. Um,
Tracy,
good.
Tracy, is today Friday? I think today's Saturday. But I love
Yeah.
spending Friday nights with you too,
You know, I think
and
we've all lost
Saturday
track of
nights.
the days being home, being home all the time. It is Saturday. It
Can
is.
I just add a disclaimer for anybody who's listening to the replay?
Yes.
I'm not sorry for laughing on our channel.
Me
We're real.
either. We would be insane if we didn't have moments.
Yes.
And I
None of us know what day it is.
no.
Maui
No.
girl's like, it's today Saturday. Yeah.
Actually, for some of us on the East Coast, it's Sunday, just to throw another day in the mix.
Yes. Yeah.
um, no, you know,
Yes, Raquel, it's whatever day. That's what I go with.
right, right. Um, I know I laugh because I get uncomfortable and because it's an emotional release for me. I think Danielle, like, isn't that what happens with you too? And sometimes things become so stressful that we just allow ourselves to do it so we don't go to the other extreme.
Oh yeah,
It's
if I didn't laugh, I would
yeah,
cry, and I will never
yeah,
apologize for laughing. I'm not. I've
right.
never laughed
No,
at this case.
no, but
Um,
we do get some negative feedback about it, and it's never meant out of disrespect or anything like that. And actually, Tracy, it's so funny. The minute you were saying that, Danielle, Tracy's comment, she's like, "If you didn't laugh, you would cry."
Absolutely. Yeah, we're on the same page, Tracy Walker.
Mhm.
We're human beings. We're not CNN. We are definitely not Fox 31 Denver News.
No,
We're
no,
not. We're just two blonde girls on a YouTube channel
that's right.
doing
Yep,
our thing. And if you don't like it, then you don't have to listen. But we
right.
love it when you listen and you hang out with us. And our
We do.
chat is so amazing. We love you guys. You always have such great input. You make us laugh. True helper, your jokes sometimes make me
Mhm.
like choke. You guys are just the best. You're the
And you
best.
guys have great insights. I mean, everybody, even on the team, like everybody sees things a different way, and like you think that like you have the total picture, and then somebody pops out of nowhere with like, "Did you ever think about this?" And I was like, "No." And I feel like it's you guys are an extension of that. You're an extension of the team because
Absolutely.
we come in here and you say things, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like how long have we looked at this?" And we've never, ever, ever thought about that.
Mhm. Mhm. So, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up. Thank you to all the mods. I'm going to try to list all your names. I'm going to read them off by memory.
Roll call.
Roll call. Thank you, Amanda, Texas Girl, Rebecca, Mignon, Christina, True Helper. Who else do we got up there? Amy?
Well, we had Joe.
Joe was here. Thank you to Joe.
Yeah.
Doodlebug. Thank you to Doodlebug.
Doodle Do now. The
Yeah.
moderator formerly known as Doodlebug.
Yeah, sorry, it's Doodle Doo now. I'll forever call
she's
you
like
Doodlebug.
she's like Puff Daddy P Diddy.
Yeah.
Diddy.
Yes, yes.
Puffy Combs.
Irish and Shannon are not here, but thank you to
Yeah.
them. Amanda, thank you. I think I already said thank you to you, but we're so, so grateful for you and to all of the WTAF team, everybody who is standing next to us and behind us and does all this research with us. We are so grateful for you and all of your hard work. Um, Always remember it's not just me and Amy here. We have a very, very solid team of people who work with us day in and day out to bring you this information, and we are so grateful for all of them.
Yeah. Don't forget Shoot the Moon.
A special shout out to Shoot the Moon. I hope on our next live you make an appearance because even though you're a troll account, you are the most amusing troll account I have ever came across. And I get like excited when Shoot the Moon shows up.
And for
So
all the new faces tonight, thank you.
yes, thank
We
you
love
guys.
and for all our loyal subs, thank you too. So
Yes. Light that chat up blue for Gannon, guys. Let's not forget Gannon. That's why we are here. We're here for Justin, for Gannon, like Manda said. Show him some love, show his family some love. I know this stuff is hard, especially for family members to see and hear. But we are here for Gannon. That's why we are here. We are definitely, we will always follow this case to the end and beyond. We will watch justice be served. And I know that every one of you in the chat has a special place in your heart for Gannon. I know I do.
I do.
I know Amy does. I know all of the mods and all of the admin team does. And just light it up blue for Gannon, show him and his family some love. And I think on that note, I'm going to put a different picture of Gannon up before we end this so that we can end this on a good note of Gannon. And yeah.
Oh, y'all, the whippoorwill is in the background. He's just being a little bit quieter tonight. So
Yeah.
if it got really quiet, you could hear it. Believe me, the other night I was talking to Danielle, and what was it, 3:00 in the morning? And that thing was
Yeah, no, I was at the night. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
So
Yes. Justice for Gannon. He will get justice. He absolutely will. I have no doubt. No doubt in my mind. I think there's going to be a lot of information that we find out in the upcoming months and even the next year. It's probably going to upset a lot of us. But always remember, if we're upset, that Gannon's family is upset to a magnitude that we can't even understand.
Yeah, it's can't even process.
Yes, yes. So let me get that picture up and we will call it a night. I love this picture. I came across it yesterday and I think it's just gorgeous.
Lonesome Dove, I agree.
And remember, guys, anybody who listens to the replay, you can always fast forward through our chit chat. You don't have to listen to it, but that's what we do. So We chit chat. It's coming.
We just gave a
Isn't-
shout out to Beetlejuice. What you talking about?
All right, one last shout out to Beetlejuice. Shout out to Beetlejuice. My kid's laughing. All right, guys. Good night.
Good
Like that chat up
night.
for Gannon. Thank you for spending 3 hours and 20 minutes of your Saturday night with us. We
Aw.
love you guys. We'll be back probably in the next couple days. We have a lot of stuff to come on and discuss, and a lot of new stuff to cover. And we'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.